Hey guys, it's Mike Chen. If there's one thing that fills my plate and my heart with joy, it's buffets. I know I mentioned this many times before, but I lived in a buffet. Literally. I mean, my family lived upstairs and downstairs, there was the buffet. It's great for whenever you're hungry, just go downstairs and eat. Not so great when a waiter or a dishwasher calls in sick and guess who's next up to bat? Despite all my close proximity with one for multiple years, I would seek them out wherever I was. And for the last several years, I was able to go to some of the best in the world. And some of the most incredible ones are right here in the US. So from mountains of crab legs to dessert sections that would make Willy Wonka jealous, here are, in my opinion, the top 15 best buffets in America. We're gonna start with number 15, and this place I feel like is still a hidden gem. The buffet spread is absolutely beautiful, and you got everything from surf to turf. I'm talking about the brunch buffet at Steak.A. I just walked around the buffet. I think this might just be the most beautiful buffet I've ever been to in my life. As soon as you walked in the door, by the way, this building's gorgeous. You can stop by the front where they pour you a glass of wine or sparkling apple cider, and you can see this open kitchen, and this is where the main foods for the buffet reside, right inside the beautiful kitchen itself. This station right here, all you can eat 4 types of caviar. Beef Wellington, there's filet mignon. It is a steakhouse after all. Plus right here, dessert section displayed so beautifully, and they also have a bunch of candies and plates and bowls. All right, let's eat. First of all, I don't think I've ever been to a buffet in my life that has a self-served caviar bar. And there's 4 types of caviar on there. There's trout roll, 2 types of topiko, and Siberian sturgeon. That's worth coming here for just that alone. Caviar is buttery, it's briny, just dissolves into this little umami coating on your tongue. And it's so smoky as well. Also, caviar puff. Anything with caviar is gonna be so good. Next up, scallop crudo. Looks like a little peppercorn on here, scallions, and a bit of citrus. Oh my God. Oh, that's amazing. The tenderness of the scallop is off the chart. It has its own natural sweetness. The peppercorn brings a little pop and numbing sensation on the tip of your tongue, and the citrus just accentuates the sweetness of the scallops as well. This is the yellowtail crudo. The fish is so fresh. That one I think had a little cucumber in there for some additional crunch. Just so citrusy and sweet. Also some spicy tuna tacos. It looks like fresh wasabi on top. Oh, that tuna just melts in your mouth. What I thought was wasabi, it's actually avocado, making that bite even more creamy. I think what a good move would be, put some caviar onto the taco. Oh, that is definitely the right way to do it. Creamy, fresh tuna with additional burst of briny umami. This is a fish rillette. It's basically a pate made out of fish and some trout roll on top as well. That was really good, especially with a nice savory pop of the trout roll. Smoky as well. One last thing I got, salmon poke. That's just a classic. Salmon is good, rice is good. I'm gonna put all my leftover caviar into this little poke glass. Another reason why caviar is so great on buffets, you can add it to a lot of different dishes and make it taste even better. Round 2, I normally don't get a lot of vegetables, especially at a fancy buffet, but this vegetable section looks really good. There's roasted carrots, asparagus, I can't pronounce this dish, but it looks delicious. Truffle deviled eggs. There's a dish called shrimp Louis inside an abalone shell. A wonderful looking Caesar salad. I like to be healthy sometimes. Oh, that Caesar salad is so good. Very cheesy and citrusy. Great little starter. I love roasted carrots.
What I didn't know about this place, I found out when I was in the kitchen, when they roast something on the grill, they're actually using oak wood. So the grilled items all contain a really nice smoky flavor. Wow, anything roasted on this buffet, you gotta try it. Had to get more scallops too. Deviled eggs, one of my favorite things in the world. That's a giant hit of truffle flavor. And truffle, if you don't know, one of the best things to pair with is eggs. And that was just outrageous. Shrimp Louis. It looks like some shrimp, veggies, peppers, jalapenos. Crunchy, refreshing, with a nice hit of heat. I think I'm ready to go inside the kitchen now. So you can pay extra to get a tomahawk steak. And since this is a steakhouse, I really want to try their steak out. Next plate, got some shakshuka, apple fritters, grilled octopus, deviled ribs, some hash mussels, a frittata, basically a cauliflower cheese ball. Oh, the shakshuka is beautiful. Oh my goodness, the golden center, break this frittata apart. This frittata is kind of shaped like a Berkshire pudding. I'm just gonna dip it into that golden, eggy yolk. That's the lightest frittata I ever had in my life. That's so light and yummy. The hash is delicious. Octopus straight off the grill with some scallions and tomatoes. Beautiful char on the octopus. Super tender as well with a burst of sweetness from the tomatoes. Deviled ribs. Oh, this is a must try. This thing has just an ridiculous amount of flavor. Really, really smoky and with an addictive heat. Mussels are good. Got some grilled scallions because like I said, anything touching the grill, I want some of that. That smoky flavor gets me every single time. Favorite item on this round, I think it's the deviled pork ribs. I mean, everything's good. That was a superb cut of rib. Also, got an apple beignet. It's light, it's fluffy. I haven't had a bad bite of food on this buffet so far. I gotta finish this plate really quickly because my steak is ready. So this is a 36-ounce tomahawk steak, and I covered a portion of it in peppercorn sauce. Steak is cooked perfectly, and it's just beautifully tender. This place does steak very, very well. Tender, wouldn't even begin describing the texture of the steak. Also, cooked on oak wood, it's much smokier than a typical steak you would get at a steakhouse. Also, this peppercorn sauce is superb. And there's also a demi-glaze. So I'm just gonna pour some demi-glaze on this little piece. And also what I like to do, horseradish sauce on the side, add it to your steak. That's gonna give it a little tiny bit of a bite. I think it makes it better. Next round is all about the meat. This being a steakhouse, there's unlimited prime rib, also filet mignon. Start with the baguette. A thin layer of skin on the outside, fatty meat with seasoning on the inside. Oh my gosh, look at how juicy and glistening this is. Dip it in a little bit of horseradish sauce. Perfect balance of fat and lean meat. This thing is so tender, it's bordering on ridiculous. The fattier parts is what I love. What's really interesting about this place, everything they're serving on the brunch buffet is from their regular menu. So these are the regular dishes that you will usually get a la carte. Usually buffets a whole separate menu of dishes that can be whipped up in high quantities. So basically this buffet is pretty much an a la carte buffet, served buffet style. And that is how it tastes as well. Haven't had a bad bite. The quality, the flavor is exquisite. They give me a giant cut of prime rib, by the way. Beautiful color. Oh, so tender. Peppercorn sauce added to the prime rib. Yeah, this place has their steaks down. That is one tender cut of prime rib. But as I'm eating that, I'm just catch myself staring at the beef Wellington. I've never seen beef Wellington on a buffet before. First time I had beef Wellington was in Vegas at Gordon Ramsay's. This one looks so good. This is so good. Granted, I've only had 2 beef Wellingtons in my life. This one is way better. The flakiness of the outside crust is incredible. Filet mignon inside, melt in your mouth, tender herbs that's stuffed between the crust and the filet mignon. It's the perfect flavor. You don't need anything on this. This is gorgeous. And the best part, it's all you can eat. They said to add a little demi sauce on here, so I will, but really don't need much at all for this beef Wellington. I think after my first beef Wellington at Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen, I thought it was good, but I wasn't a fan of beef Wellington. I am now. Unbelievable. I think another slice of this and some caviar, and then we'll start on dessert. Got another plate of filet mignon, beef Wellington, and I'm adding caviar to the steak. Oh. It's like adding little popping umami bombs to your already delicious tender steak. I think the beef Wellington with caviar. That might be one of the most flavorful bites of steak. Another piece of grilled octopus. Also, there's a baked goods area. Got some monkey bread, croissant with fresh apricot jam. This is basically a cinnamon roll. And croissant with fresh jam. How are you gonna resist that? All right, dessert time. There's so many desserts here. Of course, everything is made in-house. Look at this, melon boba tea. Whoa. Melon juice, a little poppin' boba inside. A little bits of melon here as well. Creme brulee is a must try. Oh, that thing almost brought a tear to my eye. So creamy and soft. A little bit of caramelized sugar on top. Wow. A little raspberry mousse. It's tart, but not overly so, which has always been my biggest problem with raspberry mousse. This is perfect. Chocolate mousse. Oh, that's pure perfection. Cloud-like, bittersweet chocolate. Every dessert item so far, exquisitely made. Wow, mango gelato. I think this is some sort of pistachio cake. This is really interesting. Really nutty, fruity. There's fresh strawberries on top. I think there's a little chili in the middle. Take some sort of spices in here as well. It's really good. I think they made this with jasmine. Like when I'm walking around, I smell jasmine everywhere. And one bite of this, that floral fragrance just surrounds you. This is a root beer float cupcake. Might taste like a root beer float. I think there might be some soda or something inside the cake itself. I think my favorite dessert might be a tie between that awesome panna cotta and the creme brulee. Those are just some exquisite dessert items. But overall, desserts here don't really even taste like they're from a buffet. Like if you eat the dessert section here compared to like a dessert section on like, I don't know, a Vegas buffet, there is no comparison. It's so much better. And that pretty much goes with every single dish I've tried here. Everything's cooked perfectly. It's presented beautifully. Even the spoon, look at this. That's beautiful. Spoons, the forks, the staff here are incredibly attentive. This is definitely one of the best all-you-can-eat brunch buffets that I've ever been to. I mean, serve yourself caviar bar. That doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. So the price of this buffet is $115. You get the whole buffet. You can order a steak if you want. You don't have to. I just did it just I want to try out the Steakhouse. Again, like all the dishes are listed in their menu. Just the caviar and the scallops I think will make this buffet worth it. I think they sell like a little tin can of caviar at Whole Foods for maybe $60, $70 or something. Here, all you can eat. Plus the filet mignon, the beef Wellington, all the stuff that comes out of a grill. Incredible. You guys in the Bay Area are really lucky. Couple of the best buffets I've ever had located here. And this place, I don't think a lot of people know about this place yet. So definitely come here before it gets really hard to get a reservation.
Next, I love Filipino food, and at this next location, every single thing I tried on the buffet was authentic. It tasted like it was made in a Filipino grandma's kitchen. Also, the value for money is absolutely tremendous. So at number 14, TJ Filipino Cuisine.
Oh, this is so Philippines. Halo halo, you got Philippine TV on. Look, you got this whole section here, and you're gonna have that whole section here. It's smelling good. They're still setting everything up, so I'm just gonna get started with whatever is on the buffet so far. There's some lechon kawali. Getting a little emotional right now, I'm sorry. Oh, you can eat lechon kawali. There's gingling, which I love. Oh, what is this? Never had this before. Filipino pork stew, biko. Never had that. Menudo. Really? I didn't know that was a Filipino dish, menudo. Oh, look at this. Filipino rice cake? This is the whole dessert section. Look how big this dessert section is. Oh, below. Hamba? Never had that. Kare. Haven't had that in a long time. Lumpia, of course. Calamari. The fried chicken, tilapia. Oh, get a nice piece with some skin and meat and a little bit of everything. But definitely the skin. Oh, this piece looks juicy. Oh, so does this. This is why you gotta come here early. Look at this. Nice piece of skin, juice flowing out. Heck yeah, baby. Let's get some of this. The gingling. Biko Express. Fried tilapia. Fried chicken, sure, why not? Fried chicken. Calamari, why not? Lumpia for sure. Be back for the kare. Humpa, look at this. Beans, giant pieces of pork with skin still on here. Look how saucy and nice this is. Get some peas with some nice sauce right here. Yeah. Oh, this. Beef with tomato sauce. Put that next to my pork. I'm sure they get along well together. Start with some of the kare. If I lived in Houston, I'd be here every single day. Every single day. So good. One bite, I can already tell how legitimate this place is. Lumpia is delicious. Crispy skin, meaty, stuffed filling. Look how saucy everything is already. This is the pork stew. It's so tender. This is cooked in coconut milk. It's so tender. And the coconut milk is just wonderfully delicious, covering every single grain of rice. This is the tomato beef stew. That's my favorite. Oh, that's good. Fatty pieces of beef, and it is fatty. And that thing, It is all tenderness. This is the spicy pork stew. I'm sorry I'm not naming these by the Filipino names because my memory is like as good as a caterpillar. You know, assuming caterpillars have really bad memories. Every bite, it feels like I'm back in the Philippines. And every bite just makes me want to come back. Not even tomorrow. Like I want to be back later tonight. Wow, this is so good. Everything is so good. This is like going into your grandma's kitchen, except for your grandma cooked a whole buffet full of food. And you can eat as much as you want, and she will keep replenishing every single item. We haven't even got to half of the stuff yet. I haven't even got to the value yet. That's the best part. $12. All you can eat amazing Filipino food. $12. All you can eat and drink. Forget Vegas. Next time you want a buffet, just come here. And it's not just like it's a buffet, so quality goes down. Every item you can taste it, made with care. The chicken skin is so crispy and light. Oh, tilapia is so tender. Don't think I've had a bad bite so far. As good as all that was, every single bite I was taking, I was thinking about what else just showed up on that buffet. So the much anticipated round two. All right, they're still loading a lot of stuff in there. So the new thing is the soup. Delicious. I prefer even more vinegar, but it's a lot of good chunks of beef, tripe, a little spicy with this nice big chili in here. Tender meat, flavorful broth, all with just a slight bit of funk. Slight. Ah, pak sio. One of my favorite soups. Oh God. This is the pork sinigang. Look at this. Big pieces of pork bone in here. Some eggplant, some okra, daikons as well. Oh, that's so good. Oh. Actually, that's my favorite soup. I keep forgetting about this. The difference between this and the pak sio is that usually this is soured by tamarind. It's much more of a fruitier sourness. Oh, this is so good. Pork is so tender and meaty. It just goes so beautifully with the sour broth. Filipino soup love of my life. Dessert time. Rice cake. I don't think I've had many Filipino desserts that's not a halo-halo or rice cake. Is a good finish. Verdict, love this place. Home-style, delicious Filipino food. Basically all the favorites on the buffet, 12 bucks. This might be a spot I'm gonna have to come to every single time I'm in Houston. Value, quality, how are you gonna beat this?
Next up, I of course love hot pot. There's a lot of hot pot buffets in this country, but this place my friend Phil took me to in Las Vegas absolutely stands out with their unlimited menu of Wagyu beef at such a good price point. So at number 13, Mikiya Wagyu Shabu House. So this is a new place, right?
Yeah, new place, super hot in town, very popular right now.
You've been here before?
Yeah, we've been here before, and the quality is really in the A5 beef, and just the quality cuts that they have here, like no other shabu shabu place off the strip.
So as soon as you walk in, you see a fridge full of meat, and there's different tiers, right?
Yep.
There's silver, gold, basic.
Yep.
We're getting gold.
We're absolutely getting gold. There's no question.
So with the gold, you get Japanese A5. Some of these are limited to 1 cut a person, obviously. I hope you're hungry.
I skipped breakfast because I knew we were coming here.
I ate breakfast, unfortunately. Well, I don't know about unfortunately, but this is gonna be so crazy good. All right, let's get started.
For diamond sets, like just $20 more than the gold one, and everything on this menu is unlimited.
Yeah, let's do diamond.
Oh,
Let's
all
do
right.
diamond. So we just found out there's a secret. It's not listed here, right?
No.
There's a secret diamond tier where you get unlimited everything. We're going for that. Is there a limit to the amount of meat we get? Do you order like 3 at a time, 4 at a time?
So first round, I could do
12?
12.
So you just bring out
12.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So, one of each, please. Wait, this is all unlimited too?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the foie gras toast, the marrow was really good last time.
And let's do the beef first.
Yeah.
And then let's dig into this other specialty dish menu. Is incredible Wagyu bone marrow.
I'll bring you guys for seafood combo.
Oh yeah, it's a gigantic basket.
Oh,
of
yes,
seafood.
please. Thank you. This is my favorite place in Vegas. I haven't even took a bite. I have not taken a bite. This is my favorite place in Vegas. All right, the meat has arrived. It looks beautiful.
Unreal.
And this is A5 Japanese Wagyu. And this here, we have to eat right now. This is A5 Japanese bone marrow.
Well, a little piece of toast. It looks awesome.
It has like leaner pieces of beef on top.
Yep.
Thanks for taking me here, man.
Of course, of course. Cheers. Oh, what a way to start.
Tastes like Vegas. You know, it's just rich and extravagant, and it just hits you in your food-loving soul. Unlimited.
Unlimited.
I mean, this is way fattier and richer than typical bone marrow.
It is. We should get another one now.
All right, our first round is here. We got a seafood plate. Oysters, prawns, tilapia, abalone, snow crab. This is a heck of a seafood plate. And then the first round of beef was,
So we got ribeye, shoulder, and brisket. Where do you want to go first?
we gotta start with the Wagyu.
I think so.
Gotta
I think
start
so.
with the
Looks
Wagyu.
so good.
Then the broth, we got tomato and spicy miso.
Yeah.
Let's do this, brother.
All right.
Goes in. You gotta be so careful when you're dealing with A5 Wagyu because this is not just your typical fatty beef.
Nope.
Oh man, look at that marble.
Looks so good.
And dipping sauce, so they have some sesame, and I think this is like some kind of spicy soy sauce.
I don't even mess with these. I just go with the sauce or just
You
eat
just
it
directly
straight.
eat it? Oh,
Yeah,
let's try
like
it. Let's
Asian
try it.
grandpa style.
Let's try it from directly from the broth.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Tomato is really light, but I think it gives it enough flavor. How's the spicy miso broth?
It's good. It could be spicier, but the beef itself is the star of the show. Absolutely.
I'm gonna try this little sesame.
Oh yeah, do it. I want to try the tomato.
It's really nice with sesame. This, what we just had, is the ribeye. I think it's the fattiest piece here. This place is so incredible. We gotta hurry up and eat these because they've been sitting here kind of melting a little bit. So
Right.
this is the next cut. This is the shoulder, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try the miso this time.
All right, do it.
Which one are you gonna do?
I'll go with tomato. Tomato's good. I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I never had that one here.
Yeah, tomato's great. I love tomatoes. One of my favorite hot pot broths. The shoulder is definitely marbled, of course, but not as nearly as marbled as the ribeye, and that's to be expected. And you can see, again, the marbling rivering through the meat. That's just the most beautiful part of a piece of true Japanese Wagyu. It's like a painting almost, you know?
It is. It is. This whole plate is kind of like a Picasso. Yeah.
The soy sauce doesn't overpower the meat. Adds a bit of umami, a little bit of heat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Nice little add-on to everything else going on.
2-piece in. I know I could go all day with this stuff.
Do it, dude.
All right, so next piece we're trying, this is the brisket. Oh, have you seen brisket this pretty before? All right, here you go, brother.
Thank you.
And it cooks so quickly.
Yeah.
Less than 10 seconds. Don't want to overcook it at all. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of soy sauce again. What do you think? 3 cuts. Which one's your favorite?
Great. It's a ribeye for me.
Do you think so?
For sure.
Yeah.
But I like that one a lot too. Lean, a little different kind of chew.
More beef flavor, still melts in your mouth, but the first one was just complete. It's like beef snow.
Yeah.
Like if snow is flavor like beef, that's what it would be. It just touches your tongue and just dissipates.
Which broth do you like more?
I think I like the tomato a little more. I like the little tanginess, a little bit of sweetness. It's not overly anything. It's great, it's subtle. What about you?
I like them both. This is my first time having the tomato, but I do like that. Yeah, very subtle. Just the beef's the star, and it kind of, you know, gets a little bit of flavor into it.
Our next piece is the Wagyu nigiri. All right, so a little bit of, looks like wasabi chilies on top. Here you go, my friend.
It's excellent. Nice.
That's superb.
Yeah, the sauce sitting on the rice when you bite into it, so good.
I think my biggest issue with Wagyu nigiri sometimes is like the rice, there's no flavor. Not so at all with this. The flavor is fantastic.
Really good.
All right, you know what? This is the vegetable platter. I'm gonna start putting some of this stuff in. I'm just gonna put them randomly throughout, and it's just gonna give the broth more flavor. And then we can slowly eat this as we feast on the beef. It's great. I love it. I'm gonna live here now. I now live here. All right, so they said to eat this really quick. This is the ebi, and it looks like it's covered in butter with a little bit of the wasabi chilies on top. Look at this thing just coming out of the shell with all the innards and all the flavor essence attached. All right, I'm sucking on this. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, that is good. That was just pure, unfiltered sweetness. Wow, that's good and fresh. Is this Wagyu tartare?
Yeah.
This is Wagyu tartare.
Wagyu tartare.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. All right, let's try this.
All right.
It's good.
The rye is so good with that.
I'm not usually a fan of tartare,
No.
but that is some tender, tender beef. It's just really clean tasting beef. This is really nice. Okay, before our other hot foods get here, I think we should start eating our seafood. All right, I'm gonna put a scallop in. I don't know how long this is supposed to cook. I think I'm just gonna drop it in there.
A little abalone.
Yeah. Snow crab. This is cooked, so this should be fine.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is really succulent. This is amazingly delicate. It's really, really good.
Foie gras toast,
Yeah.
little tomato, and just fruit jelly.
Try it.
Okay.
I love it. That thing is rich and creamy.
Yeah, I never thought about combining the jelly and the tomato. A nice little change up with everything else going on too.
I think everything we've had today is pretty darn good.
It's been stellar.
Our next set of Wagyu has arrived. This is the Australian Wagyu.
Yep.
Australian, what they call it.
Australian M9 full-blooded Wagyu.
So this is the best cut, or the most marble cut of Australian Wagyu.
Yeah, it looks a little leaner, more like a chutoro style beef, but they said 3 seconds, right?
3 seconds.
3
One,
seconds.
two, three. Oh my gosh, this is it.
It's like a pretty good roast beef.
Your example of rare roast beef is right.
Yeah.
It tastes like that.
Held more of the juice of the broth than the other cuts, so it was a much juicier bite.
Way more tender because the cooking time was so short.
Oops.
3 seconds. Okay, let's try this again.
All right, let's do it.
One, two, three.
Three.
Ah! So that was more like 4 seconds. I'm gonna try to dip it. This.
All right, I didn't even dip the other one, so yeah, I'll try this one.
You're old school. Like you want to get this directly from the broth. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, really good.
It does taste like a really tender slice of prime rib or roast beef. It doesn't taste all that rare, even though it kind of look a little scary.
I am interested for this one.
This one is even leaner than the last piece.
Yeah, super lean.
And this is the shoulder cut. I'm assuming this is 3 seconds as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
1, Mississippi, 2, 3. Oh, here we go. All right, okay.
Oh, mine's kind of done already. All right.
All right. I think the Australian cut's okay.
Yeah.
I much more prefer the Japanese cuts. The difference is pretty significant. That was still good, very tender, more beef flavor. But if you want that A5 buttery meltiness, gotta go for Japanese.
100%.
Now we're just waiting for some of the hot foods to come out. Let's order some more Japanese Wagyu. Let's go at it. All right, that was pretty incredible.
Incredible.
I think the deal for all you can eat Wagyu for under $100, you're not gonna find that anywhere.
No. If you saw it here, there's people just waiting out the door here to come in just for lunch. And I don't blame them. I mean, this is just a phenomenal deal.
Yeah, I mean, everything tasted wonderful. Service was great. I love this little sitting situation where you can come by yourself and they set you up with a little hot pot for yourself. Well, I appreciate you showing me this place, man. Another slam dunk, so.
My pleasure. I knew this would be right up your alley, and it exceeded expectations for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you so much.
The next buffet on my list holds a special place in my heart because it's a buffet I would go to every single time I would visit Chicago. So it's a place I've been going to since my 20s. And this was the first time I've ever tasted Polish food. At number 12, Red Apple Buffet in Chicago, Illinois.
I wore a crown, had the world in my hand, ruler of land. I never looked back. I never looked back. And nothing was crushed. No bruises and scars, no bloody wars, no dream turned to dust. No dream turned to dust. When I go back, I want to, but time carries on, we grew up too soon.
People here are so incredibly nice. I just met, I believe, maybe one of the owners. So sweet. And they're only open on weekends. And as soon as you sit down, they ask you what kind of soup you want. You gotta get a borscht. I like it for two reasons. First of all, it's delicious. First time I had this, I was in Poland. And I didn't know what a borscht was. Oh, it's so good. I love it. Oh, I love beef soup. Anyway, like I said, a couple of reasons why I love this. First of all, it's delicious. Second, I kind of pretend I'm a vampire. Oh, there's an egg in the borscht. All right, buffet time, round one. If you guys didn't know, I used to work in comic books, so I would go to Chicago Comic-Con every single year. I would always come here every single year, and I loved it. You don't often see a unique buffet like this, a Polish buffet. You don't see it often. This might be one of the only ones in the United States, and it is so good. Really do feel like you're in someone's kitchen eating the food. And this is the pig trotter. Look how tender this is. A lot of people might not be a fan of this, but try it out. Oh, it's tender. Fried chicken, so tasty and delicious. I don't know what sauce to be dipping what in. I feel like the pig trotter is good on its own. Definitely needs some sort of sauce. Fried chicken though, super thin, crispy skin. And it's cooked so well. Maybe pair this with a little bit of sauerkraut. Stir-fried sauerkraut goes so good with the meat. This is my favorite part. Gnawing on the bones with all that great cartilage and tendon. One of the only buffets in the US, you're gonna find a whole giant pig trotter. If you see one, I recommend you take one. The reason I love this so much, it's got a little bit of everything. Nice meat, good amount of fat, super gelatinousy texture from the skin. These are stuffed beef rolls, stuffed with mushroom. My plate looks kind of messy because I put dill sauce on everything because I am such a big fan of dill. Go try a beef roll. Oh my goodness, that's good. Mashed potatoes, so creamy and amazing. Got these little gnocchis here. That pretty much pairs well with anything. The food is gonna be heavy, so pace yourself. You're gonna wanna try everything. All right, round two. Oh, there's so much meat on this buffet. A lot of pork, a lot of beef. This round, a plum stuffed roasted pork. Oh, so good. Oh, that's so good. And Christine came back with a plate full of green beans.
I never eat green beans.
You never eat green beans? Oh yeah, you don't eat vegetables. Are these that good?
Yeah.
There's so much garlic in that. Oh, that's good. This is a cheese blintz. That's delicious. Tastes like a soft crepe with some kind of cream cheese inside. It's got this great fermented flavor. Brisket. Got that fat on this piece. The brisket is so tender. I didn't expect that to be this tender. Right? I'm glad you got the green beans. I'm like, my plate is basically meat overload. Potato pancake dipped in applesauce. Still crispy. I remember my favorite things here were the pierogies. I saw them, like I had a full plate of food. I didn't want to disrespect the pierogies by putting it alongside of other food items. I mean, everything's good, but the pierogies, they deserve their own plate. Round 3, fried fish, meat croissant, stuffed cabbage, meatballs, ribs, and pierogies. I was gonna get a plate full of pierogies. Saw all the other stuff I needed to try, couldn't help myself. Stuffed full of meat and rice. Just freaking amazing. Isn't that good? Oh, I saw a plate. Christine took a plate full of stuffed cabbage. Wow, the cabbage is so light, melts in your mouth. And of course, meat inside. Scrumptiously juicy and so much flavor. Ribs, a little chewy. That flavor is so good though. You taste the smoke, a little sweet, a little spicy. And this is a meat pierogi. I wish I brought my hot oil to dip that in. That and hot oil would have been perfect. I'm not an expert on schnitzels. I'm not. I've been called a schnitzel a bunch of times. That's a good schnitzel. Schnitzel, pierogies, cabbage rolls. Favorite thing on this plate. Ribs pretty good too. Desserts look awesome. Got a couple cheesecake, couple mousse, apple strudel, apple cake, plum tart. Did they make this here?
I think so.
No.
I think they make everything.
They make everything, right? Oh, this is unbelievable. I want to spread this all over my life so it can become smoother. Oh, the lemon mousse. Every bite just makes you want to pucker up and kiss it some more. Oh, that's so good. Their mousses here are incredible. And all sorts of different cheesecakes. Desserts here are mind-blowing. This is so good. A delightful Oreo crust. The cheesecake itself is so light. I will come here just for desserts. Right?
Yeah.
Wow, apple strudel. I kind of destroyed it a little bit. Love the food, in love with the desserts. It was a pretty delicious stroll down memory lane. Like I said, every single year, work the Chicago Comic-Con, and before heading back to New York, always will stop here. And the menu changes all the time. I think the last time I was here, they had strawberry pierogies. Anyway, if you're into all you can eat, if you want to try out traditional Polish food, can't think of a place better than this.
The next buffet on this list is a Wagyu barbecue like no other. Here, the spread includes different cuts of Wagyu, there's lobster. At number 11, Chubby Cattle BBQ in Roland Heights.
This is the new restaurant by Chubby Cattle, and it's both A5 Japanese Wagyu and M9 Australian Wagyu, both of the highest quality. And there's 3 different menus you can choose from: silver, gold, and diamond. I got the diamond, and as soon as you sit down, appetizers brought over. I see some marinated spicy beef, some kimchi, salad. So with Diamond, they bring over a smoky box of meat. Inside there's Wagyu Old Toro. There's also the tender beef. There's beef ribs, beef tongue. And with the box, you can get anything on the menu. And there's a lot of stuff. There's cucumber salad, there's pickled radish, there's Wagyu sando, beef tartare, shrimp tempura, sweet shrimp. There's also a bunch of different nigiris and 6 types of seafood, including lobster. And all this for Diamond, $88 US. This is extremely worth it already. First bite, Wagyu Old Toro. That is pure A5 Wagyu. Oh, that thing is so melty. That was Wagyu beef belly. That was the fattiest part. And I'm gonna have to go kind of quick here. It's only 90 minutes, so you gotta eat as much as you can, as fast as you can. This next cut, A4 short rib. Slightly less melt in your mouth, but bigger beefy flavor, and oh so juicy. There's also Wagyu tongue, and I got here a couple slices of the tender beef, and look at that beautiful marble pattern in the tender beef. I tried all the dipping sauces. It's good, but really, a little bit of salt, that's really all you need. That's a mesmerizing cut of meat. Every single bite so far has been melt in your mouth. Wagyu tongue. That tongue is so snappy. It's so snappy and tender. Because Wagyu is so marbled, adding a little bit of acid sometimes makes it better. I personally like a little fresh wasabi, but these little pickles and chili, that works pretty well too. Oh, this place is so good. Whoa. This plate of appetizer with the marinated beef. Oh my gosh, that's tender. They do have certain limited quantity items, so if you ever come here, I recommend getting those on the first round right away. And that includes some of the nigiri, definitely the lobster tail, then take a bite of something with a little bit of acid. You'll enjoy your beef way more this way. Next cut that's ready, the most tender and flavorful cut, rib fingers. Every single bite, it's just pure beef butter. And that's also the problem with all you can eat A5. You gotta cleanse your palates often. So luckily there's some kimchi here, some salad. You'll enjoy your beef way more this way. Next piece that's ready, skirt steak. That is a juicy, juicy piece of skirt steak. Not a single bad bite of beef, and I love how each piece just glistens. Skirt steak, a lot less fat, a lot more beef flavor. And love the little bits of char on the side as well. There's also sushi on the menu as well. So when you're ready to take a break from the Wagyu, eat a piece of sushi. O Toro no less. O Toro, fresh wasabi on top. That's like going from beef butter to ocean butter. Look at this. Beef uni nigiri. Fresh uni on top of Wagyu. How decadent can you get? This is just the ultimate in decadence. If you come here, you gotta get that melt in your mouth, thinly sliced fatty Wagyu with a delightfully sweet and creamy sea urchin on top. Again, I can't believe this is $88. This is such a deal. No wonder this place is lying out the door every single day. Next up, grilled oysters with chili and garlic. I love how much awesome seafood they have on this buffet. Just put down a Steak.A cut. This is another super expensive item. This is the sweet shrimp sushi. Beautiful natural sweet flavor with some wasabi on top. This stuff even on sale is like 50 bucks a pound and it's huge. This is the Steak.A cut. Look how nice and fatty this is. Zero single bag cut of beef. Something else fun just showed up. Wagyu beef shundo. And what looks like a Wagyu katsu on the inside. Oh, this is so good. The breading for the katsu is nice and crunchy. It's like a Wagyu hamburger patty on the inside. A scallops just got here. Next up for me, some Wagyu fried rice. I'm assuming this is cooked in the fat of the Wagyu. You know, last time I was at a Chubby Cattle location, I had their Wagyu fried rice. I liked it then. I still like it now. Especially when I can add more Wagyu on top. That is richly satisfying. Definitely need a little bit of chilies in here. I'm gonna call this combination the Bezos. Take a little seafood break. Little scallops. Ah, so sweet. I think the lobster is ready too. Barbecue lobster. That took a while to cook, but that came out pretty darn good. I'm saving a little piece of lobster. I think I'm gonna wrap it with a piece of Wagyu. Wagyu lobster. You gotta try that. As you chew that delicious buttery marbling, steeps into that sweet lobster. Oh, such a sweet, smoky, buttery bite. Normally, if you go to a restaurant and your meal includes lobster and A5 Wagyu, it's gonna be a pretty steep bill. My 90 minutes is almost up, but the servers are really attentive. They move very fast. So I was able to do about 4 rounds of beef and seafood. Last round, cube steak. The cube steak is so juicy because you're able to sear all around it. All that juice is trapped in the beef. Oh. That's so juicy. And when you're finally done with everything, there's ice cream. Mango ice cream. Ice cream's really good too. Like I said, not a single bad bite of this buffet. Also, just looking at the menu, the biggest difference between Diamond and Gold, when you go to the Gold menu, you don't get the limited items. But I think even without the limited items, getting the Gold menu, which I think is about $20 cheaper, you get a lot of what's on the Diamond menu. So I think that's the most worth it menu option. But whatever menu item you get, this is one of the most worth it buffets I've ever been to, especially in the US. I always compare buffets to Vegas. Bacchanal, I think it's about $80 for dinner. And you're not getting lobster, you're not getting Wagyu, definitely not El Toro. This, 100% worth it. Gotta come here and give give it a try.
The next buffet on this list has a really interesting concept. It's a rodizio pizza buffet. If you've never seen something like that before, check this out. At number 10, the Luca Gaucho Pizza and Wine in Austin, Texas.
I am here at the Luca Gaucho. Like I said, I've never seen a pizza buffet concept like this before in my life. If you guys ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse before, this is pretty much that, except it's pizzas. The process is called rodizio, and servers will bring you a rotation of the 18 different types of pizzas they make here fresh in house, and they'll keep on serving you more pizzas until you pretty much beg for mercy. So of the 18 different types of pizzas, there's 14 are savory, 4 are sweet, and you get unlimited amounts of the 3 appetizers. All this for around $25. This is gonna be so much fun. Ordered my appetizers, and this is the little placard that's on your table. Green for go, maroon for stop. Let's do it. My appetizers has just arrived. Some arugula salad, some homemade meatballs, and lobster bisque. Oh, that's so creamy. Very thick, very creamy lobster bisque. In this place, they make everything in-house, including the meatballs, the dough. Really good meatballs. Also, all the pizza dough are fermented for over 30 hours. Again, 18 different types of pizza. I only got 4 right here. Luckily, they do cut it up into smaller slices so you can try them all. This is the spinach bacon. The dough is really, really light.
Chicken and Brazilian cheese.
Yes, please. Chicken and Brazilian cheese. And just like a Brazilian barbecue buffet, the pizzas, they just keep coming. The pizza dough here definitely tastes different than a typical pizza dough. It's almost got a melting in your mouth quality to it. Between slices, arugula salad. Next, chicken tikka masala. It tastes like a chicken tikka masala. So I tried 2 so far. Next one, sausage and barbecue sauce. Oh, this is really good. I especially like the green peppers. It adds a nice crunch to the slice. Sausage is good, barbecue sauce, sweet and tangy. Again, everything just tastes really good on this super light dough. This slice, mushroom and vodka sauce. I think overall impression of these pizzas, the ingredients are very solid. Delicious mushrooms, the cheese is great, got a nice chew to it. Sauce is delicious, again on that super light crust. This is chicken catupiry. They told me it's a Brazilian cheese with chicken, and there's some herbs on here as well. I think a drizzle of olive oil. It's a very, very nutty cheese. I mean, the pizzas just keep coming and coming and coming faster and faster. Next slice is the elote. Cheese and corn, some sort of sauce, and some Mexican crema sauce on top. My suggestion, eat it quickly, because as soon as they give you a slice, take a bite as quickly as possible. Loaded pizza is so good. Creamy, popping sweet corn. Also, with the appetizer, you can take your crust, dunk it into that marinara sauce. That's a really good way to eat your pizza crust. This is really exciting. Truffle 4 cheese, loaded with cheese. It's one of my favorites so far. So cheesy and truffly. This thing definitely deserves a dip in the meatball sauce. Oh my gosh, that's just the most perfect combo. Next piece, hot sopressata. Gosh. This is by far my favorite. The salami is so flavorful and spicy, really thin with a drizzle, I think, of a bit of honey on this as well. So you get a nice sweet and savory flavor on the slice. This is just magical. This is a Brazilian pizza buffet after all, so this slice is the picanha. Juicy, smoky picanha sausage, loads of cheese, some fresh herbs. Next one is the Turkish lamb. Some red onion, sauce, cheese, and mint. This is so unique. This thing tastes partially like a lamb kebab. And again, when you're ready to cleanse your palate, take a bite of your arugula salad. I love dunking my crust in this. Over a dozen slices of pizza down. Still feel pretty good. Thank you. Next piece. This looks awesome. Little curled up cups of pepperoni with that spicy oil inside. Look how crispy and toasty and nice this is. This pizza is just loaded with pepperoni. Super toasty, spicy pepperoni. Oh, that thing is charred so nicely. Each piece also has a nice smoky flavor because they use wood charcoal in the oven as well. That crust is also super flaky too. It's definitely hard to keep up with the speed that they bring the pizzas. I think I tried almost the 14 savory slices. Margarita. You can taste way more of that light sweet tomato sauce and that nice cheese. If you're eating too much, you want to take a little break, eat a margarita pizza. First slice of the dessert series, dulce de leche. This is awesome.
Any banana?
Yeah, banana, please. Thank you. Oh, this is so good. Creamy with toasted coconut on top. This dough is so light, it's almost like a toasted crepe. Next up, Nutella with sweet mascarpone cheese and powdered sugar on top. Oh, so good. This is so chocolatey and nice. Look how thin the crust is. I think maybe they make the dessert pizza crust even thinner than a regular pizza. I'm not sure, but this is amazing. Third of the 4 dessert pizzas. Banana flambe. I think that's caramelized sugar on top of this pizza. Cheese with caramelized sugar on top. Yeah, that's delicious. Finally, guava pizza with mascarpone cheese. My gosh. I think it's like a guava jam. It's underneath the cheese. It's underneath the cheese. Sweet, savory, and fruity. Tried out every single pizza they offer here. Overall quality of the pizza. The dough is very different from other pizza places. Very light. I should be extremely full right now. I feel okay. Spicy soppressata. That one's my favorite. Love the pepperoni. Love the picanha. The truffle forward cheese. Also, every single one of the dessert pizzas, amazing. This place, if you are a pizza lover, if you are a Brazilian steakhouse lover, if you just love to see pizza magically appearing next to you endlessly, you gotta check this place out. Also, everyone extremely friendly. This place must try if you're ever in Texas.
The next buffet on the list is also credited to my friend Phil, who took me to one of the best Korean barbecues I've been to in this country, and I love the quality of the spread, the flavors, and the price point. At number 9, Gahm Asian Barbecue Dining in Las Vegas.
I haven't been to a Korean barbecue buffet in Las Vegas in a long time. This looks amazing.
Yeah, it's a great setup here. Lots of stuff to choose from, and I'm excited for you to try it.
Spicy Korean ribs.
Oh, wow. Okay. The ribs has arrived. The setup here is really interesting. You got a grill in the middle. Then you have a little side grill for soups, stews, and apparently ribs. And 3 tiers. So we're getting the Wagyu tier, which is $45.95. So some items you only get 1 per person. There's also lobster tail.
Don't see that often.
Don't see that often at all. And it's not like 1 per table. It's 1 per person.
That's right.
Ooh, Kobe fatty rib? Okay, there's a lot of meat on here.
Yeah.
There's over 25 meat items. Our food is getting here. Our rib is smoking. It looks good. It smells great. So we got a spicy one and a sweet one.
Yeah.
Also, lobster tail came.
So we got the Wagyu brisket, the A5 Wagyu here, and then over here is marinated prime kalbi.
I think these are the best cuts, right?
Yeah.
So this grill is not charcoal.
Yeah, so you're looking at a cast iron grill, and then they're using rock from Mount Fuji
Really?
instead of charcoal.
Rock from Mount Fuji.
They say it offers a different kind of
Really?
cook and taste.
That's
to the
really
meat.
interesting.
Yeah.
3 different types of dipping sauces. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Flavor's great.
Oh, yeah. It's meltier, more buttery, the more you chomp on that meat. As you can see, the meat itself, very marbled. You can see all the streams of fat after it comes off the grill. Do you like thin cuts of Wagyu more or thicker?
I generally prefer slightly thicker, but this is good. How about you? Do you prefer?
Yeah, I like it. I like a thick piece of cut.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's juicier, especially when you cook it right, the juice is just trapped inside the meat. So we just had the A5 Wagyu cut, right?
Yep.
This one looks so marbled.
We put on the prime kalbi.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells good. I love that little caramelized smell once it comes out the fire. All right. That's good.
Oh yeah.
I love it when it's not too sweet. That's the perfect amount of sweetness.
I feel like the cast iron is giving a different kind of charge to the meat as well.
Can you
It's
taste
really
it?
good.
Can you
Yeah.
taste the difference between that and like some charcoal?
I feel like I do.
It's good quality A5.
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely tell the difference between that and a Gabi. Gabi is like still very melty, but it doesn't melt like an A5 Wagyu does.
Boy, big difference.
So everything we got now,
Yeah.
we each get one order of. I'm both happy and sad at the same time. Lobster
great.
tail. You tried that already?
No, I haven't.
Oh wow.
Oh. Nicely cooked.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
I think a little citrus is gonna make this even better. It's just the most perfect sweetness and juicy.
Right.
I love grilled seafood. I think that's one of the best ways to eat seafood.
Agreed. Agreed.
This thing with a little bit of char, it's incredible. Oh,
Wow.
so ribs
Okay.
already? Oh,
Yeah.
that looks good. This is a giant rib. You got the sweet, I got the spicy.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this
Is it hitting you?
Smell this, smell this.
Wow.
That hits you
Yeah,
right
it does.
in the nose. This might be a spicy rib. Okay, let's go. This thing is really tender.
All the collagen kind of melted into this beef here to give it such good flavor.
They heated this up a lot.
Yeah.
They did not go easy on the chilies, which I appreciate. There's a little bit of sweetness to it. Yeah, that was it. Comes off super easy. Tons of heat. Just a burst of umami. How's your sweet ones?
Excellent. Yeah, I'm getting a little spice. I think it kind of was up the next to yours. So it's so good. So good. Super tender.
Can you handle a lot of heat?
I can still. How are you? Yeah.
You ready for the brisket?
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
think this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a one-off for two?
Yeah. Wagyu brisket is a one-off.
Ah, man, I want to eat tons of this. There's so much fat on this cut that as soon as you put it on the grill, like, it just starts flaming up.
Crazy.
Oh, man, we're just hidden behind a wall of smoke. This does happen when you're getting a cut that's just extremely fatty. And, of course, A5 Wagyu brisket, thin cuts of that, is going to be fatty. What's your typical favorite cut of Korean barbecue?
I like brisket and tongue, pork belly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like brisket too. This is so crazy. It's like there's a fire underneath the meat, so I gotta be careful not to burn it. I'm getting a little bit of sauce. I like the middle sauce. It's a little spicy,
Yeah, I see that.
a little bit of heat.
Whoa.
You're basically chewing on just pure marble happiness. This is the stone from Mount Fuji. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a little sam out of this. This is almost too fatty. I mean, it's almost too much of a good thing. A little radish, a little sauce. I love pieces with a little bit of char at the end. That and the A5 Wagyu, my favorite cut so far. I know there's a lot of Korean all-you-can-eat places. Do they all give you soup?
I'd say there are just maybe a handful that do a side of soup. Normally newer places that have this kind of duo thing going on.
I think it's a great palate cleanser. This is good. It's
yeah.
got a lot of heat.
That's
I
nice.
promise you, this is actually really good tofu soup. Really good. Our next run is here.
We got the ribeye, filet mignon. This is the Kobe fatty rib.
This is the Kobe fatty rib?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the prime harumi miso. And we got the pork toro.
That looks so fatty.
I know.
I feel like that should just be butter that we cover the grill with. I'm gonna put the fattiest. Yeah, as soon as this thing hit the grill, fire starts shooting up. That sounds about right. I'm gonna just use it to just butter up the grill. There's so much fat here. Oh my gosh.
Never seen that anywhere else. Pork toro.
Let's throw the ribeye on.
All right.
Oh, you gotta watch
Nice.
out. Look at that char on that fat. Are you a big fat person?
These days I am. I eat a lot of pork belly. I joke with my friends that this body is built by pork belly.
I didn't like fat. And like my parents and my grandma had to make me eat pieces of fat. Otherwise, I would pick out the fatty pieces of pork or beef, and I wouldn't eat it.
Interesting. No, I never really discerned between lean and fatty growing up. It was just whatever was served is what you ate, and that's what you had to do.
But now, like I exclusively, I want it fatty.
Totally.
All right, buddy. Here's the
Looks
most
good.
sizzled
Thank
fatty
you.
piece for you.
Next level bacon.
Yes. I'm so excited for this. Oh yeah. Ooh, so juicy.
Super juicy. I love the crisp outside.
I like that little bitterness.
Yeah.
You know, there's still enough lean meat in here where it's nice and snappy, but you get that delightful, juicy fat. I was afraid of that steak. You know why? Because I've been to Korean barbecues before where you get a steak that comes out so tough. I don't know if you ever had that experience.
Yes.
Because it looks like a really good piece of steak. That is a nice piece of ribeye. Is that unlimited or do we just get
That's
one
unlimited.
piece? That's unlimited.
No.
That is a nice, fatty, juicy piece of ribeye.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I'm wondering if that little pork toe rub you did on it enhanced maybe the flavor a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah.
So filet just went on. Let's just put on the ribs, marinated ribs. And this is the miso skirt steak. Oh,
Pretty juicy.
nice. First is the skirt steak.
Yeah, nice, good flavor marinade.
Skirt steak is good. I like the miso flavor. I'm still reeling from how tender the ribeye is. So, all right, let's try this. What is this?
Kobe fatty rib, that's what they call it. Oh, nice.
That might be one of my favorite cuts today.
Yeah, get
It's
that.
So good. We only got 3 pieces of that, right?
Yeah.
Oh
think
my
they
gosh,
know.
that's good. They know. Let's try the filet mignon before it
Okay.
sits too long.
You said you were worried about this one.
I'm worried.
Okay.
Got some salt and pepper. Okay. It's juicy.
Yeah.
It's juicy, it's tender. Eating that right after a short rib is like me trying to sing after following Beyonce or something. It's not gonna be nearly as good and as tender. It's not bad.
Not
It's
bad.
soft. I feel like I might have overcooked it a little bit. I think if we cooked it a little less, maybe a little better. Just get the shorter.
Filet's a good opener, but not a headliner.
Oh, Kobe beef brisket. All right, you want to try the hanger steak first?
Yeah, let's do it.
This thing looks really tender and juicy.
Whoa. Shocking.
You were not expecting that
This is
either,
what the
right?
filet should have been.
Hanger steak, you don't expect too much of it. That is one of the top cuts.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, I don't know if I've had hanger steak that tender at a buffet before.
Never.
You don't think you have? You
I
have
don't
it
think I
here?
ever have. No way.
This is the spicy pork belly. That's good.
Very good.
There's a couple more meals today, so I think just finish this up. And you said they got a dessert thing here that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet because I never have room to have it, but I'm excited to try it.
All right, see you in a bit.
A few minutes later.
Dessert s'mores.
Unlimited s'mores. If you have a sweet tooth, this is
How
the thing to
many
do.
s'mores can you have? Can you have more than one s'more? Like, I don't know.
Today after this feast, we'll see. Maybe 2.
I like to roast it on top of the fire, like as high as possible so the insides melt.
Hopefully it doesn't set on fire, and it has.
This could easily get out of hand.
I'm sure it has
If
here.
you see a flaming marshmallow head your way, duck.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh. Whoa,
Yeah.
yours is very well
Yeah,
done.
the only thing I like well done at a Korean barbecue restaurant, I guess, is the marshmallows.
This is a very decadent way to finish off a buffet.
Yeah.
The next buffet on my list is for those of you who love caviar. At this place, it was the first time I've ever dunked lobster in caviar. At number 8, the Circle Brunch Buffet at Palm Beach, Florida.
Round one, okay, so scoped out the buffet. It's not overly big, but the ingredients do seem extremely intricate, especially the seafood bar. All you can eat stone crab, lobster, and king crab. I just went to all you can eat stone crab buffet, that was 130. Here you get the big three. So 3 dipping sauces came with the selection of seafood I got. Here we go. Whole entire lobster tail, lobster claws, cocktail shrimp. Let's just start with this. That was a giant, giant cocktail shrimp. That thing is sweet, it's plump, it's juicy. And did I mention massive? I think I did. It's taking me about 2 mouthfuls to finish one shrimp up. The lobster claw is plump and juicy, naturally sweet as well. I love dipping everything in that mustard mayonnaise sauce. Stone crab, you always dip it into this mustard sauce. I need more horseradish for that sauce. Be right back. Well, I went to get the horseradish, couldn't help, just went ahead and got round 2. Caviar. I've seen ikra on a buffet here in Miami before. Never seen sturgeons. They have sturgeon caviar as well here. And this is something you gotta get a lot. If you're spending $150 on a buffet, king crab. Obviously the value items are the seafood. The caviar, stone crab, lobster, king crab. Gonna focus on those, just like every buffet. I wanna enjoy myself, but also gotta get my money's worth. Horseradish into the mustard sauce. Oh yeah. There we go. Jumbo chunk of king crab meat dipped into the spicy, upgraded mustard sauce. King crab is just the best. It's just the sweetest crustacean under the sea. You pair that up with some spicy, creamy mustard sauce, makes that even better. And these are not the small sized king crabs either. Usually you go to Vegas, if there is king crab on a buffet, it's usually like 1/3 of the size. Nuh-uh. Just like the cocktail shrimp, these are jumbo. Look at this. And usually comes out of the shell. Switch up the sauces a little bit so your taste buds doesn't get bored. Yeah, still, mustard sauce is the best. This crab is such good quality. Switch to the lobster tail. Oh yeah, that sting. They just give you the tail, no mess, giant chunk of sweet, delicious lobster meat just pops right out. This is like the most efficient way to eat seafood. It's really not a mess here. There's no breaking, there's no getting your hands messy, which sometimes that's part of the fun. But here you just pop it out, give it a dunk, and put it in your mouth. This is 100% fresh too. Switch to a little turf platter. Prime rib, I think beef rib, poached egg, Oh yeah. Prime rib is delicious. And then a beef red. Such a nice crust on the outside. You bite through the outside crust, inside just all fat and flavor. Smoked oysters. I've never had that before. It's okay. Not my favorite thing. Take a bite of that and some of the poached egg. I'm a big fan of the poached egg. It kind of tastes like a shakshuka. I'm really excited for the caviar. I'm not a big caviar guy, but it looks expensive. It tastes briny, a little fishy, super delicate. It's kind of like coating your tongue with like a silk sheet made from ocean waves. Veggie pura much better. Like little popping umami flavor bombs. Each time it pops in your mouth, your taste buds just get happier. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I need much more of all that I just had, except for the smoked oysters. Went to get more king crab, completely out. So, gonna try something here. Got a cheese plate, some freshly baked bread, more caviar, fish, rack of lamb, and I got an idea for this. Oh, I love cheese. Rack of lamb, nice big, thick cut of it. Unfortunately, this piece is a bit dry. I think this will be a good bite though, right here. Oh, that's a good bite. Where all that nice fat is. That's the best bite of the lamb. The top part is definitely way too dry. It's a shame. This would have been a really good piece. Flavor is really good though. This little cheesy bread they have, this is delicious. Whoa. I just bit into the most succulent, flavorful, tender piece of mahi. Wow, this is delicious. The sauce is amazing. A little creamy, a little herby. The texture though, that is what's blowing my mind. All right, let's see if they restock the king crab. Seafood round 2. I mean, seriously, look at the size of the sea monster. You ever seen king crab this big? Let me just do something here. Take a roll. Open it up. Some caviar goes into the roll. More vibrant looking caviar goes into the roll. A piece of the king crab goes in. Some lobster, creamy mustard sauce, and then a piece of bacon. Sacrilegious? Food genius? What do you think? Needs a bit of something. More horseradish. Even more bacon. That is an expensive, absolutely exquisite tasting surf and turf sandwich. I say food genius. You get the southernness of the king crab, the popping caviar, the creaminess from the mustard sauce, and then the crunch from the bacon and the sweetness from the crab and the lobster. I mean, I wouldn't try this if I was ordering this a la carte, but all you can eat buffet, I say be as creative as you can. All right, gonna finish up the seafood plate, and then one more tour to see what else I missed. But I'm really, really, really excited about the desserts. I think this is my last round before dessert, mainly because I asked for a prime rib and they gave me a prime rib. This is like a cut you get at a restaurant as your main course for dinner. Also got another beef rib. This I haven't tried yet. It's an oven-baked burrata. Looks like with some mushrooms and barley. This is really good. Burrata is so creamy and nice. Sun-dried tomato. Barley is so tasty as well. The creamy burrata, it goes so well with the citrus from the tomatoes. Texture-wise, the barley is just so nice and chewy. Everything's just really fragrant and delicious. Oh, this is the ultimate prime rib. I knew something was fishy about this prime rib. Like when she was cutting it, you looked like it was using a lot of effort. That's a really tough prime rib. I don't know what happened. The last piece was so good. This one, not so much. Still gonna eat it though. Not gonna let a big piece of meat like this go to waste. That just worked out for my jaw. Beef rib. This is so much better. Let me work on this and we'll go grab some dessert. This is dessert plate 1 of 2. And the second one, about twice as big. New York cheesecake, peanut butter dome cake, flourless chocolate cake, carrot cake, key lime pie. I don't even know where to start with this. Maybe the carrot cake. Oh, that's good. I love carrot cake. One of my favorite cakes. The frosting is so creamy and cheesy. Carrot cake itself, you taste the spice, a little bits of carrots. That's so good. Wow. Wow, that little bite is so rich. That little bite can definitely afford to stay at this hotel and probably eat here every single day. It's so rich, it's slightly bitter, but absolutely smooth and fudgy. This is the peanut butter dome with a little bit of edible gold on top. That is peanut buttery. Silky smooth mousse, like a brownie bottom. I'm just like trying to get a taste of all this because there's so many dessert items. Dessert is crazy. I mean, as good as it looks, and I know it looks tremendous, it tastes even better. Tried everything on the buffet. Best stuff here, 100% the seafood. King crab's the biggest I've seen on any buffet. Stone crab's ridiculously fresh. Lobster is sweet and delicious. Basically, all the seafood items, amazing. Oh, caviar. If you are a caviar fan, this is the buffet for you. If you're not a caviar fan, you should eat some anyway. I think that caviar out there goes for like about $100 an ounce for something. I think this buffet is worth $150. Again, if you're a fan of seafood, this place is worth it. If you go for a lobster buffet in Las Vegas, there's lobster tail, small king crab, no stone crab, no caviar for about $120, $130. I mean, I just paid for a all-you-can-eat stone crab for $130. I mean, that place is good, but $20 more you can eat here. Again, a really pricey buffet, but I definitely felt like I got my money's worth. If I could redo anything, I wish I could exchange that really tough prime rib for a few more lobster tails.
The next buffet on this list is just the epitome of comfort food. The food is delicious, the spread is ginormous. If you are ever in Amish country, you gotta check out number 7 on this list, Shady Maple Smorgasbord in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
Oh my gosh. This place is huge. Shady Maple Smorgasbord. This whole building is the buffet and a market, gift shop. And you can get meals to go as well. So the buffet is in the gift shop on the upper level. They're going from their breakfast to lunch right now. So the buffet, a lot of it is being set up right now. I managed to snag some of the breakfast items before they took it away because Amish cooking is a lot of comfort food, like biscuits and gravy, bacon, corned beef hash, things like that. And that stuff is amazing. And of course, everything's made from scratch. So I wanted to get some of this before they get taken down because when I was living in Missouri, I mean, this is the stuff I would eat every single day. Like good old country cooking. So here, I call this heart attack on a plate. I got some eggs, I got tons of bacon, 2 types of gravy with my biscuits. And how you would eat this, you put the gravy on the biscuits and just mush it all together. Just eat it like this. I remember back in college, like we used to go to diners and eat this at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I do miss this. Oh, that's good. That gravy's incredible. So thick and meaty. I think one of the gravy, I think this one right here, is sausage. I don't know what the other one is. I think the other one may be bacon. Wow, that's one of the best gravies I've had on a biscuit and gravy. A good gravy, it's thick, it's meaty, it's almost like super condensed meat soup. So good. I know after this meal, I'm gonna lose like at least 10 years off my life. I don't even care. New York has a lot of good food. One thing I've never found was really good country cooking or diner food. Food from what we used to call like a greasy spoon. Also, I managed to snag like I don't know what this is, like a pecan soggy thing. Oh, that's good. I think it's a pecan bread pudding. Soft and soggy, but in a good way, like drenched in sweet syrup. If you're on keto, or if you don't like foods that are super rich and sweet and overly seasoned, you wouldn't like this place. So happy. The best pancake I've had at an Amish restaurant in Pennsylvania. I think Mama's Cooking or something like that. It's on the way to Chicago. One year I was driving to Chicago and I stopped by for pancakes. Best pancakes I ever had. This reminds me of that. All right. Round 2. Lunch, got sausage and steaks on the grill. And look at this masterpiece. Whoa, that is a beautiful looking roast. That's chicken?
No, it's pig stomach.
Pig stomach?
Yes.
I would love some pig stomach. That looks so interesting. Thank you. And can I get some of this roast?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Also, you know what's really weird? If you listen to the music, I don't know if you guys can hear, it sounds like erhu. It sounds like the Chinese erhu. I don't know. That's just what I'm kind of hearing. All right, I call this plate. My mom will be upset. I got a steak, some chicken, I got a roast beef on the bottom. I want to get a little veggie. The steak doesn't look like it's gonna be all that tender. It's actually kind of hard right now. But that chicken, are you hearing that? It's crispy. So good. Fresh from the fryer. Look how thin the skin is, right above that glistening, juicy flesh. You can tell this is crispy. Just beautifully fried and seasoned. And I think this thing is just some salt and pepper on here. Seasoning is not like Colonel's fancy. It's just simply fantastic. The more you eat that, the happier you become. All right, time for a bite of my tough steak. I know this is gonna be tough. Yeah, that steak definitely needs some salt and pepper and some tenderness in his life. Tastes like a steak that wasn't loved by his family growing up. Really just missing that tenderness. I think think that baby crying in the background pretty much represent how I'm feeling in my mouth right now. I feel like the steak's name should be changed to Clint Eastwood. That's some true grit right there. So this is the pig stomach, and it's stuffed with ham and vegetables. See some cabbage, some corn in here, maybe some potatoes as well. This is interesting. The meat is very bouncy and snappy. Kind of reminds me of a cow tongue. That might have been a piece of the stomach lining. And the rest of the stuff tastes like stuffing with vegetables. Not bad. I got high hopes for this piece of steak though. This looks juicy and nice. And it cut very easily. Oh. If you come here, get that. Say no to the steak. Say heck yeah to the roast beef. Oh, this thing doesn't even need a knife to cut. Oh yeah, it's tender. Especially the edges with that nice melty piece of fat. All right, round 3. Chicken dumpling soup. When I moved to the US and I first encountered chicken and dumplings, I was so happy. Like, oh, finally, dumplings and chicken dumplings, all right. And when I got it, I'm like, wait, how's that a dumpling? But I did come to love it. Oh, this soup is great. So hearty and satisfying. That's like what this whole buffet kind of gives you the feeling of. Like you're eating at grandma's kitchen, like this whole place. Well, not an Asian grandma, because there you'd be getting more like pork buns and noodles and whole fish with a head on it. Here, it's cornbread, fried chicken, roast beef, and ices. This both reminds me of the time I spent in the Midwest. And also, this grandma definitely seems more fun. And there's some dishes I never had before, like this is a stewed tomato. Tastes like a stewed tomato, but really sweet. This is dry corn. Tastes like dry corn, but also really sweet. I think I'm beginning to see a pattern here. This is their famous roast beef. It said famous on it. Like, I'm not just saying that. They actually call this famous, so. That's pretty good. Ah, it's tender. So again, a lot of the stuff is things you would typically recognize, but then there are food items I never had before, like this corn pancake. That is delicious. I mean, it makes sense, right? Pancake is sweet, corn is sweet. This is a potato pancake. Tastes like a grilled mashed potato. I still like the corn one more, but oh, that's really good. Also, this burger. Oh God, try the burger and make sure you get the cheese. I think around here, you can't go wrong with cheese and milk and all these local produce that they have. So good. Mashed potato and gravy is so good. And also, I got my dessert plate already. The dessert here is incredible. Whatever baked goods you're looking for, it's pretty much here. I never had this before. This is a shoe fly pie? I don't know what that means. That's so interesting. I can't tell what's inside. I have no idea what's in there, but it's good. Also, I've never seen an apple dumpling before, but apparently they exist, just like chicken and dumplings do. So the apple dumpling, texture-wise, kind of tastes like a chicken dumpling. Like a thick, doughy wrapper around an apple. The peach cobbler is so good. If you like pies or basically any baked goods, go to an Amish market and give it a try. Okay, the buffet. The best thing there, I feel like the brisket was amazing. I think I called it roast beef before. It's a brisket. The brisket was really good. The burger is really good. Fried chicken, phenomenal. And I am really glad I showed up between breakfast and lunch so I could kind of try both out. Got to try out some new stuff like the pig stomach, corn pancake, potato pancake, the sweet stewed tomato. I didn't love that one, but overall I thought the food was really good. Especially like, I like how they have all these specialty drinks. Like you got local milk, local cheese, and then different local sodas like birch beer, creamy birch beer, red birch beer. I don't know how many birch beers there are, but there are a lot. And then the dessert. I wish I could have stayed longer and tried more of the dessert. They're baked good, they're cheese, they're butter, like just something so pure and tasty about them. They just make it better. And also the price, $16. This is after tax, 16 bucks for that buffet. You go to a Golden Corral buffet, I haven't been there in a long time. I think a Golden Corral buffet will cost you 12, 13 bucks. That's a good deal. For the variety, the quality, the birch beer, and if you are ever around this area, you should go try that buffet out.
Next up at number 6, this is right now the best all-you-can-eat buffet in Las Vegas, no question. There's all-you-can-eat lobster tails, there's crab, there's steak. At number 6, the lobster brunch buffet at Anthony's Prime Steak and Seafood inside the M Resort Casino.
So this buffet is always booked out. Lucky to be able to get a table. Started my first plate right off the bat with the meat selection. There's some beef Wellington, got some prime ribs, some crusted lamb chops. The lamb looks really tender and juicy as well. Dunk that and some of the sauce. This is some of the most tender lamb I've ever had in my life. Barely need to chew this. And this thing just falls off the bones. Also, there's such a beautiful crust on the outside. Inside, just slice this. This thing cuts like butter. Absolute butter. No gaminess, perfect texture, perfect flavor. That tastes like something you would get from a steakhouse, not from a buffet. Well, this is a steakhouse, so I was expecting their meats to be really good, but that was mind-blowing. Beef Wellington, oh my gosh. That looks like the most succulent, tender filet inside the beef Wellington. Every single time I poke this with my fork, it leaves little indentations. I'm not really using much strength at all. This is just crazy tender. Of course, beautiful golden crust, some herbs right underneath. Yeah, that filet was as tender as it looked. The golden crust outside of the filet, perfect. It's toasty, it's flaky. The herbs and the seasoning underneath the crust is delicious as well. Of course, this is what you would expect from such a great steakhouse, but no question, this is the best steak you'll ever find on a buffet, maybe anywhere. This place is also super attention to detail. As soon as you leave, your napkin gets folded. Everything looks super tidy when you come back. This time, I got a clam chowder, got some lobster biscuits. Clam chowder looks so chunky and good. This clam chowder is outrageous. It is outrageous. Wow. This is the best clam chowder I've had anywhere. This chowder is so thick. As you can see, look at all the clams that's in here. So much clams, potatoes. It's so creamy and rich. Every bite, you get a mouthful of clams. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting many bowls of this. So good. I'm gonna get another bowl and put some hot sauce in it. Look at this lobster bisque. Oh my gosh. Look at all the giant chunks of lobster in this bisque. They loaded this bisque up with lobster claws. When I was getting this lobster bisque, in my mind I was thinking I'll get this and grab a lobster and I'll add the lobster to the bisque. No need. They put giant chunks of it in here for you. Oh, so good. Oh, it's so good. Every spoonful, it's just loaded with lobster. as of right now, this is the #1 best buffet in Las Vegas, just after trying a few things. I don't think I've been to a buffet in Vegas that's this quality before. Everything I had was so quality, so delicious. The last lobster buffet I was at in Las Vegas, Sterling Brunch, I think it was about $130. This, $99. And yeah, this is way better than Sterling Brunch. Butternut squash ravioli. Sweet, creamy, rich. Creamy cauliflower is good. They just do everything well here in this buffet. And finally, the lobster tail, seasoned on top, drenched in butter. It's just so sweet and a little smoky from the paprika. The meat is succulent, it's a little bit snappy. And the best thing about this lobster, you can eat as much as you want. Let's go get some more. Got a couple more lobster tails. They bring it out very quickly. So as soon as the last lobster tail is gone, refill right away. It's just so good. The sweetness, the juiciness, everything about it is out of this world. Got another bowl of clam chowder. Tabasco goes in. One of the best clam chowders I've ever had. Can't believe I found this in Las Vegas, no less. Next plate, taking a break. So I got some snow crab, stone crab, and an egg spinny. Gooey egg with a creamy sauce. I think last time I had an egg benedict at a Las Vegas buffet. I'm pretty sure you can use it as a puck to play hockey with. This, just like everything else at this buffet, so well done. Oh, the crab is so sweet. Squeeze a little lemon into the drawn butter, makes it even better. It's also sushi. The rice is a little thicker than I like, but that is a fresh, tender piece of fish on top. It's time for more steak. Got another piece of prime rib. Look how juicy and glistening this thing is. That is magical. For sure, the juiciest, most tender piece of prime rib I've ever had from a buffet. This is just such a big difference when a steakhouse decides to hold an all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch. You know you're gonna be in for a meat extravaganza. Also, got another piece of lamb. It just comes apart so easily. Wow. Wow. I think this buffet, at least for me, definitely has won the mantle of best buffet in Las Vegas. Again, $99. I think for a regular dinner buffet at the Bacchanal, which I like, it's $79 and you're not getting any lobster or steak as good as this. No wonder this place is always booked out. That's a really good upside down pineapple cake. Caramelized pineapple, soft gooey cake with a crunchy layer of white chocolate on the bottom. Oh, that pineapple is so juicy. Look at this, little pistachio tiramisu. Oh, this is the best. This is what dessert dreams are made of. You definitely taste the pistachio. Cake is soaked perfectly with coffee. This is so good. Oh, that's so good. This is some sort of, I don't know, like a pudding mousse cake or something with a little cookie on the bottom. Nice, beautiful, crumbly little cookie base. And the most velvety of chocolate and vanilla. A little chocolate tart is good. Yummy lollipop cake. There's not the biggest assortment of desserts I've ever seen on a Las Vegas buffet, but every single piece is quality stuff, especially that tiramisu. Overall, What a spread. All you can eat, perfectly cooked, delicious lobster. There's crab, the steak is out of this world. Oh, and the clam chowder. All that for $99? You're not gonna find a buffet with all that for under $100, especially not in Vegas. So yeah, this is now by far my favorite buffet in Las Vegas. Again, it's not the biggest, but I think you'll agree with me if you come here and try this. It just tastes the best. And you are definitely getting fantastic value for all the premium ingredients that they're putting out. That's why this place is always booked. I mean, I just checked, it's booked for the next 3 weeks. So if you're coming to Las Vegas, book this place early.
The next buffet on this list, I first went to over 20 years ago. And I believe to this day, this place is still the only lobster buffet in the country where the lobster is live and fresh. So at number 5, the Nordic at Charlestown, Rhode Island.
Hey guys, Mike Jen. Happy Sunday afternoon from Charlestown, Rhode Island. Last time I was here, I think it was over 12 years ago for this right here, all you can eat lobster buffet at the Nordic Lodge. I still remember, drove all the way here with a friend of mine, shout out from my table, and then I pretty much blacked out. All I remember was a never-ending flow of lobster, delicious steak, and a Haagen-Dazs bar. Anyway, although it took over a dozen years, I'm back. Let's go eat some lobster. From what I remember, there's different sections of food, just like any buffet. First thing you're gonna wanna hit up, of course, is the seafood. We have some cooked seafoods here, some scampi, king crab legs, always awesome. Freshly shucked oysters right here. Once you pass the seafood salad, the cold seafood dishes, freshly boiled lobster right here. Look at that. Snow crab, lobster, potatoes, there's fresh clams, clam chowder stuff, mushrooms. So if that's not enough to get you excited, let me show something else. This is the grill room. Come on, you can't just have surf, you gotta have some turf as well. So this is what they do here. So steaks here, you got prime rib right there. All you can eat, drink, slurp, whatever you want. Haagen-Dazs bar right here. So they can make you banana splits, sundaes, milkshakes, brownie sundaes, creamsicles, root beer floats, all with Haagen-Dazs ice cream. After that, if you haven't got enough sweets, you got a dessert bar right here. Pies, cakes, cookies, chocolate covered strawberries, chocolate covered cherries. All right, I gotta put this camera down and start eating. Thank you. I'll take some butter, yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Round one. First plate on the table. So I'm gonna shoot for about 10 lobsters today, as a minimum. Just a little history about this place, really cool. So they started out as a little restaurant, just kind of providing for the local cabin community around this lake. And eventually the cabins faded, but this restaurant grew to be the iconic place that it is today. And every single day, fresh crab is flown in, fresh oysters, fresh lobsters, of course. I got the calamari, the mussel, and the conch salad. Oh, that is so good already. Lobster, mac and cheese. Again, this is kind of going against my no noodles, no heavy stuff when it comes to a buffet, but are you telling me you can look that lobster mac and cheese in the face and not want to eat it? No, you can. Oh, sweet. Snow crab, as good as it was. Just a precursor to the main event. 1 of 10. That's my goal today. Candy up the sea, which makes this place pretty much the ocean's candy store. That's so sweet. That is as fresh of a lobster as you can get anywhere. Don't even need the butter. Just enjoy that thing and all its sweetness. Lobster, mac and cheese. Eat that with a side of salad. You get something vinegary, a little different texture in the seafood. Oh, that's perfect. Again, I don't usually recommend eating any sort of noodle or anything in a buffet. This is just a really good combo. Also, you know what? I can't hold out anymore. I thought I could. I can't. Round 2. More seafood and first visit to the Haagen-Dazs bar. Can I please get a root beer float? Thank you.
Would you like a bowl?
Oh yeah, please. Oh yeah.
I could do that.
That's a lot smarter. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Round 2. Got some chowder, some bisque, some clams, and again, couldn't help it. Root beer float, Haagen-Dazs root beer float. That's good. When my parents had a restaurant, we had a soft serve machine and a fountain soda machine. Imagine what my drink was every single day for every single meal. Oh, look at this clam chowder. Giant pieces of clam inside. Holy moly. Lobster bisque as well. Giant pieces of lobster. Look at this thing. Oh, that's so good. That clam chowder is so good. You know, when you actually have clam chowder, where you can taste the clams, it's surprising sometimes, which is kind of sad, but you can tell those are fresh clams. Well, lobster bisque is so good too. So creamy and sweet. And here's my trick for eating any sort of thicker soup: hot sauce. I think it's a Boston thing. I learned this when I lived in Boston. Gotta add some hot sauce into your clam chowder. And the reason for that is that just throws in such a nice kick to your soups. Perfect. Also, if you want more substance in your clam chowder, here's what you can do. Get a bowl of clams. This is for those who want a really, really clammy bowl of clam chowder. Adding fresh clams to your bowl of clam chowder, I think that's a pretty good buffet hack. I mean, can you really ever have too many clams in a bowl of clam chowder? Can you be too good looking? Do we really need 5 Twilight movies? The answer is no. No, there cannot be enough clams in a bowl of clam chowder. Oh, hot sauce is even better than the lobster bisque. I just had an idea. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I want to try it. Round 3, double lobster. So, I really like the lobster bisque. And as much fun as dipping lobsters in butter is, by the way, you should always crack some pepper into the butter. And if it's not salty enough, you can add some salt as well. Don't sleep on the stuffed mushrooms. Here's the thing. I love a chunk of lobster in every single bite of bisque I take. When I run out of lobsters in the soup, kind of sad. But that doesn't have to be the case, especially when you're at an all-you-can-eat lobster buffet. So, lobster into the bisque. You want to change it up a little bit from dipping it in butter? Try the bisque or cocktail sauce, but try the bisque with hot sauce, of course. Sweet, spicy, and creamy. Turn your lobster bisque into a dipping sauce for your lobster. Highly recommended.
How's
Hi.
everything going so far?
Oh, I'm doing well. How about you?
Pretty good.
Can I get a steak?
Yeah, how do you like that done?
Medium rare, there is one. And whatever that is looks good.
Teriyaki tenderloin tip.
Yeah. Thank you. Round 4, turf time. 2 pieces of steak, Haagen-Dazs strawberry milkshake. I predict there will be many more of this in my immediate future. They cook your steak to order. And for a buffet, that might be the best piece of steak you'll put in your mouth. This is a really good piece of steak. I forgot how the steak was here from over a decade ago. This thing is so tender. Melts in your mouth. Or get a piece of prime rib. Best thing, definitely the steak. Get this medium rare, and it will be a lovely companion to the lobster. You know, while they're both in your stomach. Usually at a buffet, I take shellfish breaks in between meats. This is the first buffet I've went to that. Taking steak breaks in between the lobster, or I like to call steak breaks. All right, dessert time. I'm gonna take a little break from lobster. The great thing about lobster is since it's sweet, you can kind of categorize it as a dessert. So feel free to eat your dessert, go back for more lobster. This is a Ghirardelli brownie, a apple blossom, and a Snickers cheesecake. Huh. Of course, Haagen-Dazs ice cream, butter pecan to go with all this stuff. Oh, it's an awesome Snickers cheesecake. Wow. Oh, get that Snickers cheesecake. I don't know why chocolate covered strawberries gets all the love. I think chocolate covered cherries are better. Ghirardelli brownie. I will highly suggest some coffee or tea to go with the dessert. It is going to be sweet. It is good. I might have made a miscalculation. The dessert is too good. And it is heavy. Time to concentrate. And for the last dessert item, 2 lobsters. One final Haagen-Dazs sundae for the road. Needless to say, this has been a pretty fun Sunday afternoon. I think of all the lobster buffets I've been to, ones in Vegas, whatever, this is the only place where the lobster is actually swimming right before it's brought to you. So if you want just the freshest lobster possible, this is the place. Again, haven't been back here in such a long time. Still enjoyed it so much. Favorite thing, of course, all the seafood. The steak, make sure you get a medium rare. And of course, Haagen-Dazs bar. I'll go to like a Haagen-Dazs store maybe once every 3 years. But if I see Haagen-Dazs on a buffet, I'm eating as much as I can. Only thing I'm not looking forward to, 3.5-hour drive back. I gotta start soon because I gotta make it back for dinner. The information for this place I went to is listed in the description box below. Thank you all so much for watching until we eat again. See you later. Oh, and before or after your meal, come here, play some, what's it called? Cornwall, cornhole. There's live music. It's right by a beautiful lake and play some sand volleyball. Pretty much work out a little bit before heading home. So nice. So nice.
The next buffet on my list, I think is one of the best value buffets in this country. And it definitely had the best fried chicken of any buffet anywhere. I mean, $12 for this lunch buffet is just incredible. And the food absolutely delicious. So at number 4, Louisiana Purchase Kitchen in Metairie, Louisiana.
I actually never knew there were a bunch of Cajun buffets in New Orleans. So this one's only about $12 on weekdays. And I see all the classic Cajun Creole dishes on this buffet. Fried chicken, there's dirty rice, there's Cajun baked chicken, there's dressing, there's potatoes, there's mac and cheese, and of course, gumbo. That's not a bad gumbo. Really big chunks of sausages and chicken, nice and thick and rich. Got a good amount of heat in here too. Got a little bit of the hot sauce. Yeah, gumbo here is awesome. Also, got some dirty rice. I think I'm just okay with the dirty rice. It's a bit too sweet for me. And some eggplant dressing. I didn't even know what eggplant dressing was before today, but this is amazing. And this dressing, you can taste a ton of garlic. You can definitely taste the eggplant. There's a lot of andouille sausage in here as well. This thing is smoky, a little sweet. That is the greatest thing. I can't believe I never knew about this before. And look at this Cajun roasted chicken. Beautiful golden brown skin. Look at that wonderful char as well. This is a killer chicken. I love this buffet. This chicken is so smoky and juicy and tender. Do you see the chicken glistening? The skin is charred. You can taste all that delicious spice on there. Also, parts is a little crispy as well. This is unbelievable. Round two. Oh, I just saw that wasn't dirty rice, it was pepper rice. My mistake. Round two, I got some chicken etouffee, got some fried catfish that looks amazing. Mac and cheese, fried chicken, and some mashed potatoes. So I gotta go back and get some gravy later. Couldn't really fit it all on this plate. This is the etouffee. First time I had this dish was the last time I was in New Orleans. This etouffee is excellent. I forgot to grab rice for it, but oh my gosh. It's thick, rich, smoky, tons of heat, and this flavor is so deep. Chunks of chicken, nice and tender. This is actually really good over mashed potatoes. Wow. Oh, they are hitting it out of the park with every single thing I try. Can't believe all the times I've been to New Orleans, I've never found this buffet before. It was blowing my mind right now. Look at this fried catfish. Delicate white meat, lightly fried, really crispy on the outside, glisteningly juicy catfish on the inside. Oh, that catfish is so good. And the batter has a little bit of heat to it. I think they either added some pepper or a little bit of cayenne. Adds a little bit of hot sauce to this. Oh, that's such a good catfish. There's some mac and cheese. That's a very al dente mac and cheese. Pasta, not soggy at all. Super chewy and springy. And look at this fried chicken. Beautifully glistening, very crunchy fried chicken. Oh my gosh. I hate fruit breads, I really do. Especially when it's a place you've been to many times. Then you realize that you could have been eating this for many, many, many years before. This is one of the greatest fried chicken, not just on a buffet, ever. Wow. And I can eat as much of this as I want. It's so crispy on the outside. Inside, it's just bursting with juice. You need to employ the bite and slurp method with this chicken. The outside crunch will shatter your senses on the inside. Look at that glistening, juicy meat. And the greatest thing about this chicken is the seasoning of the batter is incredible. There's so much flavor, there's so much heat. This is a spicy, spicy fried chicken. You don't need any hot sauce here. This is absolutely perfect the way it is. Round three, some smothered cabbage. I found a bigger piece of chicken. They also have spinach artichoke dip. And then I finally got some of that pork. It's a roast pork gravy with slices of roast pork in there. Cabbage has bits of pork in here as well. One cabbage is so good. Oh, that seasons so nicely. Spinach artichoke dip. I think that one's just okay. It's a bit sweet for me. That pork inside the gravy, that's as tender as can be. And it's so good, unbelievable. And this buffet is not a chain. It kind of looks like a Golden Corral. This is one of the most flavorful buffets I've ever been to. Again, $12 on weekdays. And each day, some of the dishes changes as well. Sometimes they have baked oysters. I wish I was able to taste that. Some days they have crab cakes. Whatever they serve, I know it's gonna be delicious. This is 100% a must try in New Orleans. Not just New Orleans, this is one of the most worth it buffets I've ever encountered in the US. Maybe the most worth it, because the food is actually amazing. This giant piece of fried chicken, look at the size of this monster. Look at that beautiful crust. So hot and juicy. You definitely feel that heat after about 5 chews. I mean, $12 is worth it to come just for the fried chicken alone. They brought out a brand new tray of this eggplant dressing. Oh, it's even better. I think this is my favorite dish on the buffet. For dessert, they have some lemon pie, which is awesome. Home pudding with rum sauce on top. Oh, this bread pudding is magical. Everything about this, the crumble on top, the warm, chewy bread, and the rum sauce, it just ties everything together. This has been one of my favorite buffets I've ever been to. Just the pure price to flavor ratio. I mean, you could go to really expensive buffets and only like a few items. Looking at you, Wicked Spoon, this place, everything is good. It's good, it's authentic flavors. It's pretty much everything you want to eat in New Orleans, all on one buffet. And again, it's delicious. This is definitely still a very local place that I don't think a lot of tourists come here, but what a deal this place is.
The next buffet I think is the best in Miami. By the way, Miami has so many amazing buffets, but this one's the absolute best. Where else are you gonna get a buffet where tomahawk steaks are being grilled fresh? This is an absolute must try if you are ever in Miami. At number 3, the brunch buffet at Edge in the Four Seasons Hotel, Miami.
So when you go inside, there's a pastry section that looks so beautiful. With all these pastries that I've seen trending on social media, they make it here. If you're into cheese, they got a lot of that as well. Plus, fresh pasta bar, seafood station, and check this out. You can include it with the buffet, which is $110. You get all this, we can order direct from the kitchen, like Cubano Benedict, crab avocado toast, eggs your way, lamb kebab snapper, there's waffles, French toast, pancakes. So this is included in your buffet. All right, let's get the first round. I am so excited. This first round is here. I went a little crazy. I got a lot of pastries that I've always wanted to try. This one I saw on Instagram where people waiting in line for hours for this. And this is just the most beautiful croissant known to man. There's chocolate, there's gold on top. I got some fresh cowboy steak sliced to order. Got some paella. Let's start. So inside this paella, there's fish, there's squid, there's clams. This is magical. The rice, perfect texture, fresh clams. You taste all that delicious seafood juice cooked into every grain of rice. Oh my gosh. Mix in some of the sauce they recommended. Oh, this paella is just absolutely perfect. Squid is tender. The shrimp is scrumptious. As much as you want, fresh out of the pot. No joke. Like I said, absolutely magical paella. Fresh cowboy steak, like I said, sliced to order and perfectly cooked. It's smoky, it's tender, deliciously fatty and marbled, and as much as you want. They know their paella here, and they definitely know their meats. Fresh pasta, Parmesan mushroom risotto, this fresh truffle right on top of this. Risotto, absolutely perfect. It's cheesy, it's earthy, super earthy, and the truffle just completely pushes that over the top. 100% order the crab avocado toast. This is just sublime. The toast deliciously crispy and buttery. The avocado provides such a nice creamy texture, along with a beautiful crunch from the toast as well. The egg could be a little more runny. It's still good. Also, order from the menu the skirt steak, skewers, freshly cooked, a splash of lime juice. This place is so crazy. Every bite is just perfect. On top, scallions, some sriracha, a little sweet, a little sour, a little spicy. The middle skewer is a potato. Wow. I know this is gonna be like a pretty heavy food item. I've been dying to try this though. That's a Nutella croissant. Oh wow, this is trouble. This is so good. Outside, amazingly flaky. Inside, stuffed with, I think it's praline cream. This whole texture is scrumptious. It's creamy, it's sweet, it's nutty. That's trouble because I really want another one. Look at this croissant. How are you gonna take one look at this and not take it? Red velvet croissant. There's cream cheese inside, that's perfect. Deliciously flaky like a croissant should be. It's so airy. And the desserts here on this buffet is some of the most beautiful I've ever seen in my life. But first, more steak and seafood. Next round, lamb ravioli. God, it's amazing. Tastes like I'm getting this from a really good Italian restaurant. Sauce is delicious. They put some peanuts on here, some greens. The ravioli, the skin is perfectly al dente. Filling is deliciously cheesy and meaty. Their pasta station is off the rails good. Wow. That's just incredible. Some porchetta with skin. That is cooked so well. I thought that was gonna be dry, I'll be honest with you guys. It's been sitting there, no one's grabbed it yet. I thought it was gonna be dry. Absolutely not. It's fatty, it's porky. There's tons of herbs and spices stuffed inside. Unbelievable. Plus I got a piece of the skin. Oh, look at all that. Look at all that goodness is stuffed in here. Crispy skin, delicious layer of fat right underneath this. And again, taste all that garlic, herbs, and spices that's right underneath as well. Look at this. I found a quesito with bacon inside. Absolute must get if you ever come here. Cream cheese inside, smoky, sweet, crispy bacon stuffed into this airy, flaky crust. This bite, especially from the edge, is just absolute magic. This place, from the pastry chef to the pasta to the seafood, and I'm sure to the dessert, everything's absolutely perfect. Also, all you can eat stone crabs. Dip that in mustard or cocktail sauce. I went to an all-you-can-eat stone crab buffet, which I think about a year ago, and it was $130. No joke, only stone crabs, $130. This is $110. And that's some of the best food you'll find at any buffet anywhere in the world. For the menu, lamb skewer. Is there anything this buffet doesn't cook well? I think not. This lamb skewer is so good. Little beet sauce and beet salad. Go with the skewer, which is beautifully charred. Wonderfully soft, so flavorful and juicy. I don't know how often they change the menu on the savory items, but if you come here and you see fire roasted lamb kebab on there, get it. This grilled branzino. Oh, this is so pretty. See all that spices on the skin, flaky white flesh right underneath. It's delicate, it's light. The skin is crispy, it's seasoned beautifully. I like how nothing off the menu is super large, so you can try a lot of different food items. Pretty much get anything off the menu. It's gonna be good. Oh, Black Forest French toast. I'm gonna have to get that. Also, the service here is so attentive. As soon as I leave, they clear out everything. Depending on what food I have set on my table, they bring the appropriate utensils. I have some crab here, so they brought me a little fork for that. I got some steak. They brought me a little steak knife for that. And this is, it looks like skirt steak. It smells so good. I'm sitting right behind the charcoal grill, which I highly recommend sitting here on the patio. The smell is basically an appetite inducer. All the meat, just as tender as can be. Also, I think one last thing on the menu I'm gonna get, I kind of want two. I got the ricotta pancakes and the Black Forest French toast with roasted cherry. It's a tough choice. Last two items off the menu. Ricotta pancakes is surrounded by some key lime curd, poppy seed meringue, which is just cloud-like and creamy. This pancake is fluffy. The pancake itself mixed with the ricotta is just incredibly light. Like usually pancakes are super dense. This is the opposite of that. Also a little crumbly as well, with some awesome tartness from the berries to balance everything out. Also, I got the French toast with roasted cherries, chocolate ice cream. Look at this thing. Look, thing of beauty. Roasted cherries. Heck yeah. Some chocolate ice cream. The pancakes are good. I absolutely love this. A really nice chew on the toast. The roasted cherries are phenomenal. And that and a nice melty chocolate covering the toast. Oh God, that's good. This is a perfect transition from savory to dessert. So after this, we're gonna take a look at that dessert bar. These desserts are probably the most beautiful I've ever seen in my life, especially this blue one. This looks like what King Charles should be wearing on his head. This is an alfajor, little cookie sandwich. And it's filled with dulce de leche. This is the crumbliest little cookie I've ever held in my hand. I feel like if I insert any force, it's just gonna crumble and fall apart. A flan. Wow, that's creamy. I mean, so creamy and silky smooth. I usually don't like flan. It's one of the best I've ever had. In Florida, of course, you gotta have a key lime pie. And look at this little key lime pie. Beautiful. Light little meringue on top. Perfect little crumble. And this is definitely made with real key lime. Red velvet cake with gold sprinkles on top. The cake is moist. I really like the crispy crumble on the bottom. This is a hefty dessert. A chocolate tres leche. Whoa, 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 whoa. This might be one of the best desserts ever created. First of all, it's a hefty portion, which I like. It's so milky. And there's cake inside as well. Topped with little crunchy balls and the softest whipped cream. Oh, this is so good. Peppermint chocolate cake. Super creamy cheesecake. Beautiful, crumbly crust. Tastes like New York in Christmas time. Pecan bourbon tarts. Another masterfully beautiful dessert item. Very creamy on top, extremely crumbly on the bottom. Very nice. This is a coquito mousse. Coquito, which is a Puerto Rican eggnog, and it's so pretty. Oh. This is one of the best things ever. It tastes like a coconutty cloud. And this mousse tastes like it was made by angels using clouds as the main ingredient. Sweet coconutty clouds. So pretty much clouds right above Miami. That's so heavenly. The most beautiful dessert of all. I don't even want to cut into it. It's Jabara mousse. Jabara, which is a type of chocolate. Wow. That's so pretty. This thing tastes just as good as it looks. It just tastes like a really light chocolatey mousse. I don't think I've had a single bad bite here. Everything from the dishes you order from the menu to the dishes you find laying now to the dessert, everything is about as masterful as can be. Everything tastes like each item was cooked to order by a master chef. Again, price tag of $110. Unlimited stone crab and cowboy steak alone makes it worth it. Everything else from the truffles to the dessert selection to the paella. Paella is just a perfect extra seafood cherry on top. of an amazing buffet. I will highly, highly, highly recommend this place. Everyone's so friendly, service is so attentive. If you like buffets, if you like steak, you like seafood, you like dessert, plus no one's rushing us. I think that's just Miami brunch culture. There's really, I don't think there's a set time limit. You just sit, enjoy yourself, eat as much as you can. What an amazing experience. 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. Love it here.
All right, 2 spots left. The next buffet on this list, it's fancy. It's actually the most expensive buffet I've ever been to. I think it's the most expensive buffet in the world, especially if you sit by a window. At number 2, the brunch buffet at Navio, Half Moon Bay, California. Found this all-you-can-eat buffet. This might be one of the best all-you-can-eat buffets I've ever been to. It's definitely one of the most expensive. This buffet is $200. Let's go see. And this buffet is located inside the Ritz-Carlton at Half Moon Bay. It's one of the most expensive, probably is the most expensive seafood buffet I've ever been to. It costs $250 if you want to sit by the window. And it's helmed by a Michelin star chef. Let's go take a look.
So this place is so cool. It's one of the most fanciest buffets I've ever been to. So the window looks right out to the bay. You see the waves crashing on the shore. If you want a window seat, it's $50 extra per person. And everything here on this page is all you can eat. And you have an hour and 30 minutes. I'm gonna try to eat as much as I can, as many times as I can, because all the food items look exquisite. There's caviar tasting, oysters, blue prawns, trout, cheese tasting, ceviche, scallops. There's all your breakfast items like waffles, quiche, pancakes. Here, Wagyu beef slider, lobster, salmon, short ribs, lamb rack, tenderloin, and then a dessert tower. All that, $199. And every single time you can order 2 plates per person, but you can start placing your next order as soon as the plates arrive. So I'm just going down the list. You gotta try every single thing on the menu. Okay, first course is here, caviar tasting course. So there's sturgeon, trout, bowfin, of course, some sour cream, little pancakes. They also brought out homemade butter and homemade pastries as well. All 3 caviars on my little pancake. I just taste luxurious. A little briny, very poppin'. Also, the chef brought over some smoothie they made in-house. That's good too. Next is the oyster tasting platter. There's champagne foam and Bloody Mary, wasabi. That is so good. Usually oysters to me, it's kind of just like a slimy entity and you're just really tasting hot sauce. Here, the oyster's got a snappy texture. The sauce is wonderful. The wasabi especially, not too spicy, perfect mouthfeel. The champagne foam is ever so light and creamy. Next dish, trout with sun-dried tomatoes. That trout is just so smoky. Great texture. I love the poppin', little rice puffs on top, and also the sun-dried tomato sauce, delicious crispy pickle in it as well. Every single dish has been so exquisitely beautiful. It's like you're ordering dish by dish from a luxury restaurant, but this is all you can eat. Like a dream come true right now. Wow. Next dish, prawn and cocktail sauce. This is the most gorgeous looking prawn and cocktail sauce I've ever seen, for sure. I mean, these prawns are ginormous. And cocktail sauce, a little bit of greens. The prawns are so giant, juicy, and sweet. Cocktail sauce is perfect, perfect little refreshing dish. Next is ceviche. Corn, looks like pickled onions, sweet potatoes. Oh, I love this so much. It's so citrusy. The fish is perfect. Sweet potato is so velvety. I love the nice crunch from the onions. One of my favorite things so far. Next dish. It's just a salad. I should have skipped this one. This is a good salad with cherry vinaigrette on top. Next, cheese tasting platter. Cheese is delicious, bread is delicious, jam is delicious. I love a good cheese plate. So far, all the starter dishes, it's all delicious. You definitely taste the quality, the freshness. First main dish, scallop. Deliciously seared, surrounded by truffle, polenta, a little bit of greens. Oh, this is perfectly cooked. Oh, it smells so truffly.
Ready for another round?
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
That scallop with a truffle polenta around
Wow. This is one of the best scallops I ever put in my mouth. This is so good. I need at least 10 of these. I have limited time, but I will have unlimited stomach space for this. The scallops is so perfectly seared, amazingly delicate and sweet, and so buttery. And again, that truffle aroma is just next to none. This is where I'm gonna start digging into the freshly made bread. Look at this, sesame croissant. Actually, this is like a everything croissant. Dunk it in there, in the truffle sauce. This is good beyond words. And so is that croissant, by the way. This is an amazing croissant. Hope we get unlimited ones of these too. Bread is so good. Oh, something that smells really good just appeared on the table. This is a low temperature egg, truffle on top. So beautiful, little asparagus in here, mushrooms as well. Oh my gosh, look at how much truffle you get with this. From my truffle hunt in Italy, I did learn that truffle goes perfect with a little runny egg. Wow, truffle obviously so incredibly earthy. Egg is so smooth and soaky and perfectly highlights that delicious truffle flavor. Throw in a little bit of mushrooms as well to enhance that earthiness. Then a little crunch from the asparagus for a change in texture. It's like eating pure runny silk. Next up, rigatoni carbonara with bacon bits on top. Wow. Oh, the sauce looks so good. I only have an hour left. We've only been through a third of the menu. This is not good. Wow, this is good. Rigatoni, absolutely perfect. Chewy, al dente. The bacon pieces are smoky. The texture's kind of like a jerky almost. I love it. I really love it. And the more you chew on that bacon, the more that great fatty flavor exudes from these little porky cubes. Next, Dungeness crab eggs Benedict. Watch this. This is gonna be pretty. I don't think there's really much prettier in the food world than a flowy, eggy waterfall. Dungeness crab, of course, is what the Bay Area is known for. Oh my God, this whole thing is crumbling. There's spinach in here as well. It's like a nest of spinach, and the egg is sitting on that nest. Dungeness crab inside. Here we go. Best egg Benedict I've ever had. The crab is so sweet and tender, and the spinach is amazing. Use it to sweep up the velvety egg yolk. The crab meat brings a slight sweetness to this whole dish. This is so awesome. Oh, this next dish I got, this is gonna be a stomach filler. Chocolate chip banana pancakes. Cover that whole thing up in syrup. I know this is a stomach filler, but I'll happily fill my stomach with this. Pancakes, light and fluffy. The little balls of chocolate provide such nice crunch. Next is a beet risotto with blue cheese and lemon zest. Oh, delicious. I love how they just give you like a taste of it. Well, that blue cheese flavor is profound. Risotto is perfect. It's so cheesy. Another breakfast dish. Belgian waffle. It looks like raspberry on top. Homemade whipped cream and maple syrup. Dunk the whipped cream on. Maple syrup. Oh, that is toasty waffle. Amazing. This is way better than the pancake. Get this. If you're ever here, you want a breakfast item, you cannot go wrong with this. This is like one of the best waffles ever to have existed. It's so toasty on the outside. The whipped cream is just wonderful. Oh, I love it. I'm a big fan of waffles. This is just the best waffle. I'm trying to hurry because my time is almost half over and I've only been through half the menu. Gotta at least try everything once. This is a smoked salmon quiche. Take a little bit of the smoked salmon. It's a very good quiche. The egg's really delicate inside, the spinach is good. The crust is what really sets this apart. It's such a crumbly crust. Once you get through the crumbly crust, everything inside is just as tender as a gentle lullaby. And the smoked salmon is so deliciously smoky. I mean, this is also a stomach filler. Luckily, I like this, but in general, I'm not super big fan of quiches. Otherwise, probably have to get another one of these. Next is a dish called vichyssoise. This is a soup made out of leek. I never seen anything like this before. Oh, the soup is great. It's creamy. You taste the leek, but you taste so much more than that. The flavor is so complex and It's like they squeezed every single ounce of flavor out of the leeks and put it into the soup. That is the most wonderful thing. Oh, I love this. Next is a Wagyu burger. Oh, the bun is so soft and toasty. So garlic aioli. There's a giant piece of bacon on top of the burger. There's mushrooms on the bottom. This thing just came out of the grill because it is piping hot and so juicy. Just look at that. Perfectly cooked. Whoa, all the juice is like leaking down my hands. I bet you this is gonna be delicious. This is a great burger. Patty is so juicy, deliciously charred, so it seals in all that juice inside. The bacon is just perfect. Oh, this is like the juiciest little slider I've ever gotten. Every bite, I'm just slurping out the burger juice. The buns are so buttery and toasty. Mushrooms delicious. The sauce is fantastic. That's so good it hurts. I'm gonna chase that with a plate of vegetables. It's beautiful though. Grilled seasonal vegetables and roots puree. It's so colorful. Peas, tomatoes, cauliflower. The puree is delicious, it's creamy. All the vegetables taste like they just came out of the garden. There's some next level vegetables. Wouldn't be surprised if the Ritz-Carlton had a vegetable garden every day, just picking things out of that. Next up, salmon with ponzu and bok choy. What can I say? Utter perfection. Perfectly seared on the outside, beautifully juicy and so soft inside. The ponzu sauce, perfectly delicious. The sesame adds a nice aroma. My salmon is absolutely mind-blowing. You go to any seafood restaurant, you'll be so happy with it already. At a buffet, even better. This is the dish I've been waiting for. Lobster with trout caviar on top. It's just so sweet. Sauce is creamy. The caviar just pops. Every time it pops, it's like a little umami explosion that enhances the sweetness and the flavor of the lobster. That round was tremendous. Like surf and turf, the burger, the salmon, the lobster. I might like the salmon most of all from that round. That salmon is, it's not like the lobster is bad. It's great. The salmon is just so good. All right, last three dishes. I think I got about 20 minutes left. The short rib is so crazy. First of all, it's so soft, don't need a knife. Use a fork and the meat just completely falls apart. The red wine sauce is perfect. Mushroom is a delicious touch. Also, I think the bottom is some kind of cheesy potato puree. That's so smooth. It's kind of a hefty dish though. I'm definitely filling up. Next up, tenderloin. Tenderloin is good. It's probably not my favorite thing I've had today. It is a little dry on the outside. The inside is really nice and tender. Last meat dish of the meal, rack of lamb over peas. Oh, the lamb is so good. That's definitely the best out of the meat items. It's so tender and scrumptious. There's good amounts of fats on here. Oh, that's so tender. The gravy is good. The peas provides a really nice contrast with a sweet crunch. Definitely best red meat on the menu. It's the lamb. There's only about 12 minutes left. They told me the kitchen's about to close. So one last order. Put in order for 3 lobster, 4 scallops, a soft egg with truffle, and a salmon. My favorite items off the menu today. And then after that, they're gonna bring out dessert. Dessert is here. From the top, pear and toffee verrain over panna cotta. Ah, this is ridiculous. Sweet, crunchy, milky, incredibly creamy. Panna cotta is so soft. I love the little crunchy toffees. Oh, it's just magical. Next, an upside down pineapple cake. This is good. Not as magical as the panna cotta, but good. Oh, this should be fun. Eggnog cheesecake. Oh, that's so yummy. The cheesecake is perfect. The outside crumple. It's a little salty and sweet. Oh, it's such a nice flavor profile. Finally, a peppermint mousse. I'm a little rushed because I only have 5 minutes to finish the dessert. The last table here. If you have a special occasion to celebrate, if you're around the Bay Area, and you love buffets, this is a fantastic place. I wish they would ease up and give you 2 hours for all the savory dishes. Hour and a half, even without filming, just getting every single thing on the menu, which you gotta try at least everything on the menu, will take up just about the hour and a half. If you just don't talk, no conversation, just full on eat. With that said, every single dish, it tastes like it came from a fine dining restaurant. It's almost like an all-you-can-eat tasting menu. And the menu changes all the time, so, I mean, yeah, this is a place I would definitely recommend. Price tag is hefty, but the ingredients they're using, what you're getting, it's really high-quality stuff. Awesome place.
All right, we're down to number 1. This is my favorite buffet that I've ever been to. Well, it's not really a traditional buffet per se, but it is all you can eat. In this place, I've never experienced anything like this before. It took me months to get a reservation, and then I had to wait 4 more months to actually go here. And I went to Sacramento just for this restaurant. This is the only one Michelin star restaurant in the world that is all you can eat. They allow you to do whatever you want at the buffet. You can interact with the chefs. You can taste whatever they're cooking. You can cook if you want. It's not uppity. The food is absolutely phenomenal. Again, you can eat as much as you want. I'm talking about number 1 on this list by far, the Kitchen Restaurant in Sacramento, California. You gotta check this out.
So just got inside, and it's really tight seating, and most of the people dining here are facing the open kitchen where you can watch the chefs prepare the entire meal, and they came over and described the experience. So what's gonna happen is that essentially there's no rules. You can taste whatever you want to taste. You can help them cook. There's hors d'oeuvres all around the kitchen, which you are free to walk around and enjoy. And there's chefs already prepping dinner. And this is gonna be a 10-course meal, but the experience starts right now. First bite, smoked salmon on a rice cracker. Ooh, there's so much food around here. I'm like completely overwhelmed. And you can walk into the kitchen pretty much anywhere you want. I'm in the kitchen right now. I feel the heat from the stove. And people are just walking all around. The chef's just introducing the food that's around you. Next is a savory cream puff. It's a sunchoke cream puff. Oh, that's like a savory little cloud with nuts. That's so good. And this is beef tartare.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
No worries.
It's so good. I like that touch of heat at the end.
Yeah.
Mushroom tart. I see everybody grabbing this, like multiple ones of these. Wow.
Like it, right?
Great job. And that truffle flavor is fantastic. Yeah. I see now why everyone's grabbing multiple ones of these. That's so good.
And no food allergies, guys?
No, none at all. So this is the poke.
Hawaiian ahi tuna poke, a little bit of California tangerine we're getting out from Newcastle, cilantro, and Wagyu peanut salsa.
Wow. Thank you so much. This is amazing. This is not your typical poke. This is like extravagant. Oh my God, that poke is good. So there's oysters in the back. And again, like anywhere you want to go, you can go in this restaurant. There's the oysters.
Oysters, sir?
Oh, thank you so much. Look at an oyster. Wow. Oh, that's fresh. Last thing I haven't tried, this is a vegetarian spring roll, and they say to eat this as a palate cleanser after all the food is done. Wow, really herby and refreshing. Oh, that wrapper's so mochious too. Yeah, that's definitely a palate cleanser. Had to go back for seconds. Got some beef tartare. I don't like beef tartare, and I love this. And of course, had to get another mushroom tart. I missed the tuna tartare wrapped in shiso leaf. There's a lot of heat. I think my favorite thing might just be the beef tartare, and also mushroom tart and both of the tuna tartares. Incredible. And after coming back to the table from the whirlwind hors d'oeuvres tour, there's fried arancini balls and homemade dill potato chips. I feel like so many times I've taken a bite at this place and the flavor just intensifies as you chew. Same thing with these things, just the most beautiful little crunch on the outside. Inside, a melty little risotto. I said this before, I love dill. Dill potato chips, incredible. And this is before dinner's even getting started. Dish number 1, Phoenix Tail Dumpling. It's shiitake mushrooms, ginger taro, in XO sauce, and the dumpling is deep fried. A+ on the dumpling. Tastes like a very luxurious dim sum item. Very crispy and airy, really soft and creamy inside from the taro. Wow, the inside is so creamy and rich. It's like extreme velvety with just the most amazing crunch on the outside. And you can 100% taste the ginger. That's phenomenal. I need another one of those. And that's the beautiful thing about this place. You can get as much food as you want. So if I want another dumpling, just gotta go get another dumpling. And before that, the amuse-bouche just came to the table. This is a mushroom with Parmesan foam on top. Wow. Definitely reminds me of a savory, very rich cheese foam bubble tea.
All right then, Friday night, how we doing, everybody? Whatever it is that you want to tonight. In fact, I am encouraging you guys. You are not stuck in your green velvety thrones, all right? I want you to get up. I want you to walk around. You can come back here. You can help us cook. Light crap on fire, we're heavily insured. There, how about that, all right? Unlike other Michelin-starred experiences, I actually plan on feeding you guys tonight. Yeah. Friday, we were so close. We were so close there. All right, table 1, you gotta help me out, at least on this one. The rest, not now, wait. Good Lord, you guys are... Is this your first time out? Let's see, all right, ready? All right, unlike other Michelin-starred experiences, I actually plan on feeding you guys. Woo!
This is the funnest Michelin restaurant ever. This might be the funnest restaurant ever. Bread just came to the table. I know this is probably not the best thing to do, where there's so much food here, but it's fresh bread. It is awesome fresh bread. So this is seared sea scallops, lime leaf, ginger, blood orange, sitting in a cauliflower sauce. This is beyond amazing. I mean, I'm guilty of searing scallops on both sides, but just searing on one side, it is the most succulent scallop you might ever put in your mouth. The blood orange brings a nice bit of juice and sweetness. You definitely taste the ginger, which just adds to the depth of this dish. The sauce made with cauliflower is so light, adding a savory umami to this dish. This is absolutely mind-blowingly delicious. I'm gonna order some more of this. I asked for 5 more scallops. Not on the stick, I wanted the sauce because that cauliflower sauce is just, mwah. Oh, so amazing. I feel like this must be what food heaven is like. And the beautiful thing is, this is just course 2. So I'm trying some of the chanterelle mushrooms before it goes to a dish. Oh, that's really nice and buttery. This next dish is Dungeness Crab Bouillabaisse Blanc. So it's poached fruits of the sea, which is these little mussels wrapped inside extremely crispy phyllo dough. And this shell is practically see-through. Savory, extremely crispy. Taste the sweetness of the Dungeness crab. The mussels are beautifully savory. The whole thing is wrapped up like a present. When you bite into it, it tastes like Christmas morning. This is intermission. Valley Pearl oysters from Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia. On the left here, black cost ceviche with Asian pears, ginger, passion fruit. Other bowl, Hawaiian ahi tuna with mandarin citrus. Looks like a giant plate of seafood smiling face. Oh, that is a delicate sweet oyster. Zero, and I mean zero fishiness. And that's what I really look for when it comes to oysters. This is the Asian pear cod ceviche. Looks like a little peppercorn on top with strands of chili. It's nice and fruity. A little gingery, and the fish is just so succulent. And that goes perfectly with the crispy pear. So this is their homemade taro chips. Dunk it into the ahi. That's my favorite. I already know I love that tuna. Mix that with some paper thin, crunchy taro chips. I've been to a lot of intermissions in my life. None as good as this. Food intermissions are the best intermissions. I was just walking around, they gave me the biggest macaron I've ever seen. Oh yeah. This is also coming up later. Before the next dish comes out, had to get another scallop bouquet. 5 more scallops. I'll never get sick of eating this. It was absolutely perfect. The start of Act 2 is sweet potato cannelloni with brown butter sabayam, yellow chanterelle mushrooms, white wild pecan, and purple mizuna, which is basically Japanese mustard greens. This is some next level magical pasta. Creamy sweet potato wrapped inside the most perfectly made al dente pasta. Outside, crispy pecans. The sauce is rich and buttery and creamy. The mushroom brings that earthiness. Oh, that was just blow your mind. Apparently, if you just stand near where they're cutting, they just keep offering pieces of steak. Look at how juicy this is. Let me talk about more later when I have the plate in front of me. Next dish I'm so excited for. This is roast beef tenderloin with ash roasted Nantes carrot, Peregrine truffle, and port-based cabbage. Unbelievable. My heart is fluttering. Oh my gosh, it's so good. This and the scallops will send shivers down your spine. Yeah, seconds, third, maybe fourths on this one. The beef, I mean, I've had a couple pieces before this and I knew how tender it was. This piece melts in your mouth tenderloin and is sitting on a bed of just the most velvety, rich, smoky roasted carrots. And you get a bit of acid from the cabbage to balance out the richness. And this whole thing, from the texture of the beef to the carrots and all those flavors working together, again, to say I am in food heaven, not much of a stretch. Had to hit the repeat button on this beef. So to prep this tenderloin, they cure it for over 20 hours, then they sous vide it. So this whole process takes close to 30 hours to prep for the steak. And you can definitely taste that.
Here it is, kids. If you're feeling a little tired, I want you to take solace in the fact that you have just rounded the final quarter. You are coming into the finish line. You are now entering the last 1,500 calories of dinner. That's up. But it's all right. Look, it's all dessert. It's like a culinary slip and slide. This is easy.
Dessert part 1. This is a rum cake with chestnut butterscotch, sweet creme fraiche, and candied chestnuts. Oh, I love this so much. This thing is just soaked in rum. The cake is moist, it's rich, slightly sweet with a bit of a spicy flavor. And with every bite, that delicious rum just erupts from the cake. The chestnut butterscotch brings additional sweetness and a nice caramelized flavor. And to give it a bit more texture, you got a really airy wafer on the side. This is very rich and satisfying. I love it. And this is just dessert number 1. All right, dessert number 2. Fresh whipped cream and fresh cookies. Oh, this is so awesome. There's like more chocolate than cookies in this chocolate chip cookie. This place is all decadence, all flavor. Oh, it's actually a third plate of dessert. It's passion fruit marshmallow. And also salted caramel cream puff. And of course, the giant tangerine macaron. My second one today. And they give you Madeleine cookies to take home. All right, let me finish everything because I still want to get some more food and we'll talk about this. All right, that was an amazing experience. Got there at 6:30 and left at 10:30. 4-hour experience flew by. Chef Kelly, obviously very talented, very entertaining. Everybody working there was extremely friendly and nice, and ordering more food is very much encouraged. So the closest I ever been to food heaven is probably tonight. The price for the experience is $185 per person. That's before gratuity and tax. But for a 1 Michelin star all you can eat, I'm gonna say that is very worth it. My favorite course, obviously the scallops. I love the steak. I love the hors d'oeuvres, the oysters. I think this is one of the most exquisite, worth it food experiences I've ever been to. And obviously a lot of people feel the same, because getting a reservation to this place, I think right now they're taking reservations for June or July. It's about a 4-month wait. This place, if you can make it out here and get a table, I highly recommend doing it. It's probably the most deliciously fun experience I've ever had at a restaurant. I can't believe I just had a 1 Michelin star meal and it was so much fun. I never had a restaurant experience like this in my life, where you can do anything. You can wander into the kitchen, interact with any of the chefs, taste anything you want, try cooking the dish or plating the dish. I think this is the only food experience like that in the world, especially for a restaurant of this caliber. So yes, highly recommend. And if you do make it out here, I got one advice for you. Make sure you ask for seconds or thirds or fourths, and they'll happily oblige.
And those are my favorite 15 buffets in America. I would go back to any one of these places again and again.